They have struck out more than any other team. They've also not drawn many walks. So they put the ball in play, and the problem when you play against them is that sometimes putting it in play for them is putting it out of the ballpark with the long ball.
In play and out of play.
In play and out of the ballpark. Yeah. Ian Kinsler stands in, and a great start he is off to. He goes after the first pitch and will foul that one off by the Orioles dugout, out of play. Strike one.
Well, that just reflects the mentality of this entire lineup. First pitch fastball, Kinsler is hacking at it, and that's the way they hit. As Gray mentioned, they don't take many walks. They're very aggressive, and you can see they reflect a very high batting average. Kinsler, in fact, has dropped down on the fact that he is 0 for his last 10.
Sixth in average in the league is Kinsler, and he will take that pitch up high. Kinsler also is 4th in RBIs, 4th in runs, 2nd in doubles, 1st in extra base hits. 1-1 delivery to him. Good pitch by O'Hara, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
Really difficult to tell the difference between his split finger pitch and a changeup. The split finger doesn't have that dramatic downward break, but the changeup is something he's picked up very quickly.
1-2 delivery on the way down to third, and that is a foul ball. Pitchers like hitters, Buck, will feed off one another, and certainly Eaton's performance, first strikes, number of pitches down to under 13 per inning. Others on the staff see that. You try and do the same thing.
Yeah, you sure do. And when you see Brad Bergeson pitch against the White Sox so effectively, and then Eaton last night, no walks, 9 strikeouts, it makes you want to throw strikes.
1-2 delivery on the way to Kinsler. That one will bounce down low for a ball. Count goes to 2-2. O'Hara getting his second shot already against this Texas team since these two ball clubs playing one another early on here in the first month of the season. So he knows something about this team. He has a victory against April 13. He won a 10-9 slugfest and swung out and missed. Kinsler goes down swinging, and the Orioles may have caught Kinsler at the right time. As Buck mentioned, he's not hot right now. The skipper, Dave Tremblay, on tonight's starter for the O's.
I'm probably the last guy in the world that needs to tell him anything. The guy's track record is such that he's pitched for such a long time, been so good for such a long time, has the uncanny ability to make adjustments. He just throws more strikes, doesn't run his pitch count up to a lot of 3-ball counts. I think he'll be fine.
In his start against Boston, he had a little more life on his fastball, and he was pounding the strike zone with the fastball, and we hope that he can do the same tonight.
Here is Michael Young, another 300 hitter at the top of this order. He was magnificent in Texas against the O's. 5 for 14 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in that 3-game series that the Orioles won 2 of. 1-1 delivery to him. That is taken first strike, hitting the corners and getting the calls.
Yeah, if you pitch right there all night, I don't care if you tell the hitter what's. It's tough to get to. Down and away, good fastball, well located, catches the outside corner.
So Young behind on the count, a ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch is high and inside to him. Young went 2 for 3 with one of his home runs off O'Hara in the series in Texas. He comes in having hit 4 for 9 in the last couple of ball games. Good road trip for him so far, hitting .308. End of the bat, second base, right at Brian Roberts. 2 down.
Well, the defense in this series has been exceptional because they have thrown a lot of strikes. The pitchers have kept the defense on their toes. P.A. Jones and Markakis again in the outfield. Caesar, Asturis, and Ty Wigginton on the left side. Brian Roberts and Aubrey Huff on the right side. And Fred John got the day off last night. He resumes his role behind the plate, helping out Koji Uehara with this potent Ranger lineup.
And that will bring up Josh Hamilton with 2 down and nobody on. And the off-speed pitch is going to be taken up high, and a 1-0 count on him. Hamilton, see the current road trip numbers, batting .246 on the season. A couple of home runs, 10 RBIs, and he swings through that one. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. It is interesting to note that despite the big numbers Texas has put up, they come into this series hitting just .225 over the last 5 games. 1-1 delivery, foul back. So the Orioles hope those are the kind of numbers they'll continue to have here in this series. Their team batting average in 5 games has gone from .293 to .271. They've still stroked the long ball. They're averaging almost 2 home runs per game, the most in the American League. But the averages have dipped. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Hamilton. O'Hara with a chance for a 1-2-3 inning, and he got it. 2 strikeouts included in it against a very tough threesome at the top of the order. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the O's. No score. Good start for O'Hara fans still coming on here as we go to the bottom half. Take a look at the starting lineup for the O's. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis. Huff, Wigginton, and Scott. Zahn, PA, and his tourists. With Brian Roberts. Went 7 for 12 in that series in Texas with 2 doubles.
Vicente Padilla, the PNC scouting report for Padilla. Fastball, cutter, slider, curveball, and a changeup. He'll throw that front door 2-seamer. That's the inside pitch to left-handed hitters. It's best when it's thrown with 2 strikes. You start it off the plate. The movement takes it back inside, catches the inside corner. And the lefties have been a real problem for Padilla this year. They have hit .450 against Padilla so far this season.
Texas has decided to play without a left fielder.
Pitch him in, Vicente.
That's right. This is like the old kids game. You can only hit the ball to the right side. Marlon Byrd is supposed to be out there in left field.
Yeah, he was waiting for a glove. He evidently had something wrong with his glove, and the equipment man ran his glove out to him. So now he'll take his defensive position.
So Padilla had already taken his warm-up, so he'll just toss a couple more in as the home plate umpire. Paul Nart's going to give him a chance to do that, and Brian Roberts will stand in. Brian has just worn Padilla out. 10 hits and 15 at bats against the Texas starter. First ball hitting, and he just missed getting another one. Also just missed Joe West.
You know, it's interesting. There's Joe West out there, a big smile. He said, I can move around pretty good for a big guy, can I?
Did a 360 on that one. Roberts making sure the umpire was in the game at first. Padilla out on the count 0-1. Young in at third base. We noted this in Texas. Teams continue to play Brian Roberts in as though he's going to bunt. Brian Roberts hasn't bunted for a base hit in about 3 years.
But he looks like he could.
1-1 pitch. Padilla misses inside with it, and the count will go to 2-1.
You know, you mentioned the numbers of Roberts against Padilla, and I asked him about that, and he goes, I just don't remember hitting well against him.
Isn't that funny? Fouls it back.
And he talked about it. He says, you know, I don't have a great memory, so I can't remember what I hit last night. And he said, I don't know whether it's a blessing or a curse, but I'm not one of those guys that sits around and says, okay, Padilla does this to me. I mean, it's completely opposite of Luke Scott.
Exactly. I just thinking the same thing. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way and grounded foul.
That's that inside pitch right there, thrown with 2 strikes. The inside front door sinker ball. Throw it inside, hitter see it off the plate, and you hope it gets just enough movement to go inside. He will also cut the fastball in there.
Left-handers have knocked Padilla around for a .450 batting average so far this year and 2 home runs. Right-handers .208. That one's going to be in the air to left field. Bird's glad he's got his glove. Fortunately, they had a left fielder in, and there's one away as Roberts is retired.
Pretty good outfield defense anchored in center field by Josh Hamilton, Marlon Byrd, Nelson Cruz left and right. Elvis Andrus, a wizard defensively at shortstop. He takes over there. Michael Young moves from short to third. Ian Kinsler, Chris Davis on the right side, and Jared Saltalamacchia, a very good young catcher, switch hitter that's always been thought of as being an offensive player, starting to get the nuances of a defensive catcher.
Adam Jones standing in, hitting at .327. He does show bunt with Young playing way back and takes the pitch outside for a ball. Adam also had good numbers in Texas, 5 for 14. He had 2 home runs in that series, the 2 he's hit on the year, and a strike on the outside corner from Padilla. He wasn't sure about that. There are the numbers on the season so far for the Orioles center fielder. 2 for 5 against Padilla in the other start he had against the O's. That one to second base. Kinsler tailing away a little bit has got it, and there are 2 down. Top of the order for these 2 teams. We've mentioned how good they are. Look at the numbers. Kinsler, Young, and Hamilton for Texas. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis for the O's.
3 of the top 10 hitters in the American League in this mix, and you look around, it's very difficult for pitchers to get into the flow of the game, trying to get settled in against these 3 guys in the respective lineups. Hamilton not really going yet, just hitting .246, but he's driven in 10 runs. And Markakis, he's a pace setter in the American League for RBIs.
So now that we've set the stage, both pitchers are going to retire the top 3 in order the first time that they face them. It's a beautiful game. Nick Markakis, 4th in average in the league, hitting at .387. And a little chin music. Markakis, 1st in RBIs, 1st in runs, and a .441 average here at home, 4th best.
Nick leans back from this inside fastball up around the bill of his cap. Didn't move his feet.
2-0 delivery on the way. High strike call, 2-1 from Padilla. Markakis with a 10-game hit streak as Nick continues on an absolute tear to start this season. 2-1 delivery. That's a strike on the outside corner, so this strike zone's got some breadth and width to it.
And nothing wrong with that in my mind. I like the aggressive umpires and gives the pitcher something to do. Go ahead and pound the strike zone and makes the hitters think about swinging the bat.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that's strike 3, just as we said. So these tremendous threesomes at the top of the order for both teams, bound to drive pitchers wild, are each retired. 1, 2, 3. Oriole home run hit tonight. A chance for you to win too. You can enter by logging in at massonsports.com. No score after 1. Koji Uehara will face Blaylock, Bird, and Cruz due up here in the second inning. Texas coming off a 1-for-2 stand in Toronto, losing the last 2 games of that series. Uehara's pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Koji Uehara 2-1 on the year. Retired 61% of leadoff batters in the first 3 starts he's had on the season. And gets a good cut with a little taken off that pitch, and I mean a big swing, 1-1.
Well, that's what you're going to see a lot up and down this order. There are guys in this lineup that love to hit the fastball, and they take a good rip at it.
Breaking ball that will miss inside to Blaylock. Blaylock, the designated hitter, and he will strike out a few times. So far 7. He's drawn only 1 free pass. 2-1 delivery and a reach for it. And because he didn't get all of it, and it'll stay in the yard. Nick Markakis will put it away, 1 down. Get ready to celebrate both of Baltimore's pro sports teams, the first 10,000 fans 15 and over, at tomorrow night's Rangers game against the O's. Will receive a draft day O's Ravens rally cap presented by Masson. So don't miss out. Unique opportunity. You can show your support for both the Orioles and the Ravens. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. 1 down, second inning. Bird up. 8-game hit streak for Marlon Bird. He will take the pitch for a strike. He's had a 3 for 9 on the road trip so far. Marlon Bird will foul that one back as Uehara came in, and we are seeing strikes being thrown here.
A lot of fastballs by both Uehara and Padilla. And I don't care. You can have great hitters, but if you make quality pitches with your fastball and pitch ahead, hitters are going to become defensive. They don't have the freedom to sit back and freewheel it. They've got to protect the strike zone, especially now with 2 strikes.
Couple of home runs so far for Marlon Bird. He'll foul that one back. Another big hack, and it goes to 0-2. Bird finding new life in Texas. Chance to put his career back online. Ballpark in which he obviously will do pretty well in as a power fly ball hitter. 0-2 delivery, waited on that, had a double clutch. Brian Roberts, 2 down.
Well, Uehara got ahead with the fastball, and that's what he's going to do most of the night, but he's got many other pitches to complement that fastball. But once you get the 4-seam fastball, as you see the grip here, that's the one he's throwing to the corners and getting ahead of. This is a split finger grip. This will create a downward break and take a lot of velocity off. That's his curveball. A lot of pressure on the middle finger. That is a cutter, a pitch that will run inside, and this is the pitch that Rick Kranitz has, the changeup. And he's got a tremendous feel for it very quickly. It wasn't a pitch he brought over with him from Japan. It's a pitch that he added in spring training at the suggestion of Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach.
1-0 count. Cruz. Let me correct myself. I said Bird had the 8-game hit streak. It's actually Nelson Cruz who's got the 8-game hit streak going. He's had a 10 for 31 with 3 home runs during the streak. He has started all their ball games in right field, and this 8-game hit streak is the best that he has in his career, hitting .298 overall. Ball gets away from Uehara and ends up high in a 2-ball 1-strike count on Cruz.
Well, Cruz is one of these guys that just happens to be a late bloomer. Originally signed by the Mets, moved around from Milwaukee to Texas. Has really found a home here now.
2-1 delivery, hard and foul, and a 2-ball 2-strike count.
He's one of those guys that constantly put up good numbers in the minor leagues, but nobody ever really gave him an opportunity to establish himself in the big leagues. He got 307 at bats in 07 with the Rangers, and then went back to the minor leagues last year and just tore it up at Oklahoma City.
2-ball 2-strike count with 2 down. Koji Uehara delivers and got him. So he has retired the first 6 Rangers to face him, including 3 strikeouts picked up. Aubrey Huff
when these two ball clubs met. First game of that series, Aubrey Huff went 4 for 5 in the game, and it just was catalyst for him to take off. Last 10 games average over 300, 3 home runs, including a shot to Utah Street here against the White Sox, and 11 RBIs in the 10-game span.
Aubrey Huff with a 3-game hit streak and has upped his average to the 290 mark now. Vicente Padilla with the 1-0 delivery to him. Padilla has had no luck here at Camden Yards. He's 1-5 in games pitched here, 6 starts. His ERA is 9.21, and he has lost the last 3 starts he's had here. The only win he picked up was back in July of '06 in this ballpark, and Padilla's 2-6 lifetime overall against the Orioles.
Well, there's so many guys in this lineup that absolutely wear him out, including Aubrey Huff.
3-0 count. Huff will take, and it is in there for a strike. Aubrey had a big series in Texas, 5 for 13. That home run off Padilla, and 5 RBIs. 3-ball, 1-strike delivery, and an inside strike. So the hitters know now that you better come up there ready to go. If it's close, be swinging.
Yeah, and that has been established early. And boy, Padilla's really got that 2-seam fastball working on the inside corner. That's the front door sinker ball we were talking about. Great movement inside.
3-2 delivery. Padilla got that one in short. Andrews up and gets the out. 1 away. And let's find Amber Theoharis. Amber.
Well, Gary, Melvin Bora is eligible to come off the disabled list this Tuesday, and even though he's been taking ground balls and participating in batting practice, Dave Tremblay wants to see him run the bases tomorrow before whether or not to send him out on a rehab assignment. Melvin said in the meantime, the way that this offense is playing, the way the top of the lineup is getting on the bases, he's missing out on a lot of RBI opportunities, so he's eager to get back, but he said he's not going to push it. Now, in other news, Rich Hill pitches his first rehab assignment tonight in Frederick. We'll have live updates on MASNsports.com. Steve Molesky is in Frederick, so tune into that, Gary.
All right, Amber. And Melvin Mora really wants to go down. He said he wants to have a couple of games of rehab at the minor leagues before he comes back. He is ready to play. He said, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to come off the DL when I'm scheduled on Tuesday. 1-1 delivery on the way. Ty Wigginton will foul it off.
But it's very important that he is 100% when he gets back in the lineup, especially the way this ball club is swinging the bats right now. You don't want him to be out there and clog up the bases if he can't run 100%, and he knows that. He understands there's a lot of RBI opportunities right now the way the team is hitting.
Wigginton, a ground ball. That one will go to second base. Ian Kinsler. These two pitchers starting in a dominating fashion through the first couple of innings. 2 down here in the second.
Well, that's the beauty of baseball. I don't care what kind of hitting teams you're facing. If the pitcher is making good pitches in quality spots, they're going to shut down hitters. And as we mentioned, these are 2 of the best hitting ball clubs in the American League, and so far, nobody can scratch out a hit.
That'll bring up Luke Scott. Luke, the designated hitter, a 4-game hit streak going for him. He's 1 for 9 against Padilla. Ooh! Well, with that pitch, maybe we ought to talk about some little unhappiness in the Texas dugout, Buck.
Yeah, and it is a result of that 19-run game down in Texas at the end, and the Ranger players believe that as you look at this last pitch, that's the second one that's been in that vicinity. First to Markakis and now to Luke Scott. But the Ranger players believe that Matt Albers hit Andrew Jones intentionally. So there's been a couple of messages sent, and Matt Albers in that game. And the game was well out of hand at that point, and I don't think Matt did anything intentionally, but the perception in the dugout of the Rangers was there was intent behind the pitch.
So we've already seen a couple of whisker burners. Aubrey Huff took one, or Markakis rather took one, and now Luke Scott. So we'll see if that plays into the ball game.
But I will say this: he didn't hit anybody, sent a message,
yeah,
and he's pitching very well.
1-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. Breaking ball tapped to short. Andrews up, makes the throw, and both pitchers have retired the first 6 in the opposing lineup. We've completed 2, first of 4 against Texas underway. No score. PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. And back here in Birdland, good start for the two pitchers. No score going to the third. Texas instituting something that the other 29 major league teams are going to look at. Andy McPhail, I talked with him about it today. He said, we're going to watch intently. Let them go first. What is it? Under Nolan Ryan's tutelage, Texas has taken away the pitch count from their entire organization. They are telling their pitchers, go out there and pitch. We'll tell you when you're done.
Yeah, and they're not going to abuse anybody, but they've removed the pitch counts in the minor leagues, especially because they don't want pitchers to have an artificial ceiling where they think, oh, I'm going to make 100 pitches, I'll be out of the game. What you have to do is you have to teach pitchers how to pitch. And by doing that, he's going to make pitchers go out, stand on the mound, and pitch through innings. I've said all along, I think it's very important that pitchers develop. They go down there and they learn how to pitch, and I think you're really impeding their progress if you limit the number of pitches they throw. Nobody's going to have perfect control every night, but you've got to give them the opportunity to pitch.
And my talk with Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for Texas, before the game tonight about that, and Mike said, we have told them, and it's our philosophy now throughout the organization, the hitters will tell you when you are done as a pitcher. Leadoff doubles, hitting the ball hard when they weren't before. They'll tell you when you're done, and that's what we're going to look at, and we are not going to look at that pitch count anymore. It's interesting, and the rest of Major League Baseball is going to keep an eye on it.
I absolutely love it. If you think about a boxer that boxes 3-minute rounds and you ask him to fight for 5 minutes, he's worn out. Same for a pitcher. If you throw 20, 25 pitches in an inning, you're going to be out of gas. Yeah. So you have to economize on the number of pitches you throw per inning, and that will keep you in a ball game longer.
Boys, O'Hara dealing out there. Another strikeout. So he's picked up right where Eaton left off in the ball game last night. That's 4 Ks, 2 in a row, 1 down in the third inning.
The common thread has been the fastball. O'Hara, much like Adam Eaton last night, much like Brad Bergeson earlier in the week, lots of fastball strikes. You create a swing mentality, and then you use your complementary pitches to finish off at bats.
Here is Saltalamacchia. Jared Saltalamacchia, check swing, strike on him. He's got a 4-game hit streak coming into the ball game. Batting just 190 so far. 3 doubles, couple of home runs, 6 RBIs on the season for the big switch hitting catcher of this ball club. O'Hara ahead on the count, 0-1. And that pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse, providing us with some of the numbers here tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike count. That just missed. Saltalamacchia taking it down low, and it goes to 2-1. And this, Dave Tremblay talked about this with his Texas team before the game. He says when you get down to the bottom of the order, especially 8 and 9, do not let them get on base. You cannot turn this lineup over when you have as good a lineup at the top as Texas does. So when you've got Saltalamacchia not hitting well, when you've got Andrus who's batting in the number 9 spot, you got to get these guys out. These are outs you got to have. 3-1 delivery on the way. That one fouled off right at the plate.
Yeah, you don't want to see Josh Hamilton hitting with 2 or 3 runners on. You just want to make sure you have some wiggle room when he comes to the plate. He's a run producer. He's got lots of guys around him that can hit. So you've got to pay attention to bottom third of the order and make sure that they earn their way on base and you don't give them the opportunities to get into scoring position.
So he'll try and get Saltalamacchia right here. 3-2 delivery on the way. Shattered bat. That's going to be a base hit down the line. Into the corner. Marquez giving chase. Saltalamacchia is going for 2, and he'll go in. So a double and a 5-game hit streak for the Texas catcher. And there is the first hit of the ball game. And he did really shatter the bat.
Looked like a ball hit right out the end of the bat, and the bat explodes, but he gets enough of the barrel on it. There you see the barrel flying down the first base line, and it lands just on the foul line. Aubrey Huff jumps for it, but it's beyond his reach down the right field corner. First base runner we've had tonight.
And that will bring up the young shortstop, Elvis Andrus, with a chance for an RBI. He's had 4 runs batted in. He's batting .300. Mostly singles, 1 triple, 1 double, and 1 home run in the 12 hits he has put up so far. Timeout being asked for at second base, and then ready to go. So Texas gets on the board. O'Hara's delivery is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. O'Hara in the first 3 starts, when runners have been on base, opposition's hit only 176 against him, as opposed to 333 with the bases empty. So out of the stretch, Koji Uehara has been very tough off the end of the bat and just got a piece 0-2.
Another quality fastball on the outside corner. Difficult for hitters to get to that pitch, but he continues to make great pitches away from the hitters, both lefties and righties. And Craig Zahn's going right to it, boy. He's picked up the trend. Hey, he's got good command with the fastball. Let's exploit the strike zone.
Andrus 0 for 6 in his last 3 games after he'd had a 4-game hit streak. So he's one in another of the hitters in this Texas lineup. A little bit of a funk right now. 0-2 in the dirt. Zahn going out to stop that one and hold the runner at second base with only 1 away.
Gary, now in this situation, a ball and 2 strikes, number 9 hitter, this is the pitch you want him to put in play. Either strike him out or get him to hit a ground ball right here on this next pitch. Won't go after the splitter in the dirt. Zahn squares up on it, keeps it at home plate, keeps the runner at second. But right now you don't want to have the count go any deeper.
These batters will swing. Andrus another one, 7 strikeouts, only 2 walks. Runner on second, 1-2 delivery to him, grounded down to third. That'll be a foul ball, and the count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. This Texas team, 134 strikeouts and 46 free passes.
Yeah,
they come up swinging.
Yeah, this is a hitting ball club. Their mindset is hit. They're not thinking about walking to improve their on-base percentage. They're thinking about hitting to improve their on-base percentage.
The most strikeouts in the American League and the 3rd fewest walks in the league. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Andrus waiting on it. He'll take that to right, cutting away from Nick Markakis, who'll get there. Runner tags, and going over to third base is Saltalamacchia, but there are 2 down now in the 3rd inning.
Koji Uehara making his 4th start here. 1999, he was a Rookie of the Year in Japan for the Yomiuri Giants. Won the equivalent of the Cy Young Award twice. He's an 8-time All-Star. 2 times he won the ERA title. Fine fielder. He's got 2 Gold Gloves on his resume, and he played for the 2006 Japanese team in the WBC. The interesting number for me in breaking down his career, the most he's ever walked in a full season in Japan was 28.
Take that one, I tell you. That's a ground ball towards the hole, and that's a base hit and an RBI. So Ian Kinsler at the top of the order does what Dave Tremblay was worried about. You get him in the lineup being turned over after Saltalamacchia got that double, and Kinsler delivers, and it's a 1-0 Texas lead.
On the first pitch, and same thing he did in his first at bat when he eventually struck out, but he hits that first pitch splitter. Just a ground ball, but it finds the hole at shortstop and sneaks through. Saltalamacchia had moved up on the fly ball to right field. He scores the first run easily.
17 RBIs for Kinsler, who came into the day's play 4th at RBIs in the American League. So Kinsler is on at first base, and you got to keep an eye on him. He's stolen 7. 2nd in stolen bases in the league. And a chopper towards short. Cesar Torres up, makes the throw to first base, and Young is retired. A run on a couple of hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Texas on top, 1-0. beautiful evening here in Baltimore. Birdland, the site, and a 1-0 lead for the Rangers. This game not starting out the way the last few here at Camden Yards between these two teams has gone. These two teams in the last 8 games prior to this here, 75 runs and 108 hits in 8 games here at Camden Yards. And you would expect those kind of offenses to continue, but so far early in this game, pitchers have done a good job. Butting for a base hit. How about that? And not quite. Fine play made. Zahn had Young back, but he didn't push it hard enough. And Saltalamacchia makes the play.
Well, he made a heck of a play. He came out quickly from behind the plate, but the ball kind of dies too close to home plate. It enables the Rangers catcher to come around, get behind the ball, and get a lot on the throw. Good idea by Zahn to try to get things going here with a bunt. Caught Young back at third, but Saltalamacchia made a good play.
So Zahn extends his 0 for to an 0 for 9. He was trying to bunt his way out of that one. Felix Pie. He played against Padilla in Texas and had a 1 for 3 in the ball game. Starting in left field, takes the pitch inside for a ball. Batting just 171 with a homer and 2 RBIs so far on the season. Got 11 strikeouts and 10 walks. That one will be fouled back into the screen. 1-1. Gary Crowley continuing to try and get him to be more patient. Take some more pitches at the plate. Don't be rushing it. Let the game come to him and get his bat going. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The other thing, when we were talking about Texas and doing away with the pitch count, Buck, and expecting the guys, telling them, look, go out there and pitch and don't be looking to the dugout after 6 innings. Inside pitching is a necessity if you're going to do that. I mean, you got to get guys off the plate, right?
It's inside pitching, but it's also throwing inside strikes.
Yes.
Because if you just pitch inside, hitters will then think, okay, he's going back out over the plate. And it's really counterproductive because then you're eliminating half the plate. But if you throw strikes to both sides, now hitters have to worry about the inside strike and the outside strike.
3-1 delivery on the way. Thought about it, laid off it, and he gets a walk. So the Orioles have their first base runner with 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Online voting for the 09 Major League Baseball All-Star Game is underway. You can vote at Orioles.com, and when you vote, you can win an All-Star prize. Vote orange, save green. Any fan voting on Orioles.com gets $5 off a ticket to an upcoming game. And if you vote the maximum 25 times, you get a free upper reserve seat to any non-prime game after the All-Star break. So you can vote early and vote often. Details at Orioles.com/vote-orange. Nick Markakis certainly in that group is going to get some all-star votes, not only from Oriole fans but around baseball. Pierre speed on at first and a big lead. Showing bunt. It is taken down low for a ball as Torres. Cesar's got a 5-game hit streak going. Put the average up to 200. Padilla's got to be taking a look over there because PA was really off the bag. John Shelby talking to him at first base.
And that's what he wanted to see. He wanted to see the throw from Padilla. So you get a one-way lead. By that, we mean you take an exaggerated lead, but you're thinking about diving back to first. That's to get Padilla to make a throw there so you can have a look at his move.
Young is playing in at third base, looking for a bunt. 1 down. Torres does not show bunt this time, and Padilla misses down low. 2-0.
Well, Michael Young and Cesar Asturias were teammates in the Blue Jays organization. In fact, at A-ball at Dunedin, Young and Asturias would flip-flop between second base and shortstop on a nightly basis, back and forth. 2 marvelous infielders, both playing in the middle for the Blue Jays.
PA 1 for 2 in stolen bases. 2-0 count. Runner not going, strike taken. Asturias has a 5-game hit streak, as we said coming into this, even though Asturias has had some struggles early on this year with some long droughts that have become part of it, including the one in Texas. He ended up going 0 for 12 in that series in Texas. Shelby again talking to PA over there at first about his lead. Davis holding the bag. Padilla not a real quick move to first base. You can get a pretty decent lead off him. Saltalamacchia has thrown out a couple in 4 chances. There he goes. Slapped out. Foul ball. So as Torres took a swing at a ball that looked like it was out of the strike zone, PA running. I'm not sure if that was a hit and run or just a straight steal on his part at first base.
Yeah, I think it was just a straight steal. I think Sturris was hitting on his own and fouled the ball off out of the plate, but PA got a break at first base. Not an awful lot of steal attempts against the Rangers. As you look at PA's career numbers, and have been caught twice because the Rangers pitching staff has been hit hard, and teams playing against them don't want a chance getting a runner erased, stealing a bag.
Yep. 2-ball, 2-strike count. See if PA runs here. He does not. Foul back. Right now, the toughest batter to strike out in the American League is standing at the plate. As Sturris has that number going for him. He has struck out only 1 for every 27 plate appearances. He, Pierzynski of the White Sox, Orlando Cabrera, Oakland, and Vernon Wells are at the top in that group. 2-2 count, runner not going. Inside. Takes the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. This tour is showing you the good eye that gives him that kind of a number.
And you can bet PA's on the move here because of those numbers you were talking about, Gary, and also the fact that you can turn the lineup over and get Brian Roberts to the plate if you can stay out of a double play. Big
3 ball, 2 strikes. Good time to throw over to first, I would think, because you got a runner thinking about moving. As Sturris will step out, and Padilla looks over.
You don't necessarily need that big a lead on the 3-2 pitch. It's a very aggressive lead.
He's had that lead throughout the count. 3-2, runner goes as Sturris waited on that. That was one where you saw the mental process, actually saw it. He wasn't going to swing, and then he said, you know, that's been a strike a lot. I better swing, and he did.
And he plays shortstop so he can see the strike zone very well from his defensive position. Said, oh, is it? No, it might be. I better swing.
That's pretty good. 3-2. PA at first running. As Torres will pop that one up again. So he's battling here against Vicente Padilla. He's had only 1 hit off him, 1 for 8.
Gary, the reason you don't need a big lead at first base in this count, 3-2 with 1 out, you're not trying to steal it, and you're going to wait until Padilla throws the ball to the plate. You're not going to try to get a jump, so you can shorten up and be certain you're not going to be picked off.
A little workout at first for Felix PA. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Padilla again. Runner going and struck him out, and the throw one hopped and got him. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. As Saltalamacchia got the short hop down there. So only 3 are faced here in the 3rd. Texas still up 1-0. Second time in his young major league career that he has faced this Texas team and has given up just the 1 run. 1 run, 2 hits for the Rangers. The Orioles with 0s.
Pitchers have certainly set the tone for this ball game, and we have talked about it all night long, what good hitting lineups these are. But once again, it's proof that if you can throw the fastball and make quality pitches early in the count, you can have the upper hand no matter who you're pitching against.
As Adam Eaton showed in the ball game last night, and both of these pitchers are showing again here tonight. It'll be Josh Hamilton, Blaylock, and Bird. 3, 4, 5 in the order for Texas. Hamilton, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And we'll take the pitch inside.
Okay, you talk about the home run abilities of this ball club. Texas Rangers lead the American League in home runs, one ahead of Toronto. Cleveland and New York tied with 25, and the White Sox, we just saw them, they've hit 20. But once again, home runs don't translate to wins. You think about the Texas Rangers, just 6 and 9, and they have not been able to take advantage of that home run power.
Orioles come in 8 and 8. Trying to get above the 500 mark here in the first of 4 against Texas, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count on Josh Hamilton. Hamilton has not had a walk in the last 11 games that he's appeared in. The big RBI producer from last year. Swung out and missed, and a 2-ball, 2 strike count. Got a couple of hits and 4 at-bats against Toronto in the game yesterday. Trying to get his numbers going again. Batting at just 246, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. O'Hara with a 2-2 delivery to Hamilton in the air to left field. PA. Very little breeze here tonight, if any, so that ball is going to play true. Junior Orioles Dugout Club presented by Chick-fil-A. Great for the young fans and for the parents. Take advantage of it. You can get tickets for fans under 14, 10 games, dugout hat, membership card, much more, collectible lunchbox. It's only $17. And equally important, the family and friends tickets are only $6. So join the Dugout Club. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com, or Chick-fil-A. Any location. Towering fly ball, first base side. Aubrey Huff is under that and has it, and a couple of quick outs. Blaylock's now 0 for 2. 2 down here in the 4th inning.
A great turnout tonight. You can see the Junior Orioles Club up in the upper deck in left field, and a lot of kids out tonight. Great atmosphere here. Beautiful night in the Inner Harbor. Certainly a great night to come out and walk up, seeing a heck of a pitcher's duel so far.
Marlon Byrd coming up, grounded out his first time up. These pitchers throwing strikes to the hitters are forced to come up swinging. Bird hitting 341, takes it to center field. Jones is back. Use 2 hands now, Adam. Nope. Dave Tremblay was kidding him before the game. Did you see him last night? He actually caught a ball and used 2 hands to do it. He used only 1 there. 1, 2, 3 inning. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, and by Acura Advance. Young and old on hand for this ball game. Plug in place and ready to go. Rangers have the 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Brian Roberts flied out. First time up, Vicente Padilla And the off-speed pitch is outside for a ball. Tonight's leaderboard presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation.
Orioles second to the Blue Jays in hits. Blue Jays with 179, Orioles 150 hits, and still looking for their first one here tonight.
Padilla behind on Roberts, 2-0. And Bryan takes it to center, but it's an Adam ball. Hamilton hauls in the rebound. Roberts is retired. Minimum number of hitters faced here, 10 so far by Padilla. The only base runner was PA, who drew the walk in the third inning. Jones and Markakis to follow up here in the fourth. Jones lined out to second base. Relatively softly hit ball. Orioles coming off their 2-1 series win against the White Sox. Team hit .291 against the White Sox and averaged 6 runs a game. Shows bunt. May see that a few times because Michael Young at third base plays a very deep third. Now he's just come in about 8 steps. He was almost back on the outfield grass, and now he's almost on the infield grass. 1-0 delivery. So even if you don't intend to bunt, if you're the hitter, you sure would like to have him closer than further away.
Yeah, well, Michael Young's getting used to playing third base. He's a natural shortstop. He has played some second base. When Alex Rodriguez was the shortstop for the Rangers, he moved to second, and now he's moved to third base to accommodate Elvis Andrus, the young shortstop with tremendous range.
1-1 delivery, and there's the base hit. So the Orioles are on the board as Jones delivers the single with 1 away here in the fourth inning. And that will bring up Nick Markakis. Called out on strikes his first time up. That hasn't happened a whole lot to Markakis. Only the 8th time he struck out. Nick has 1 more walk, 9, than he does strikeouts, 8. Markakis 4th in average, 1st in RBIs, 1st in runs, 1st in doubles in the American League. Jones with a good lead at first, but he has started a number of these hitters off with that off-speed breaking ball.
Yeah, second time through the order, he's given him a little bit of a different look, and he drops that curveball on the outside corner for strike 1. He won't throw many of them, but that's exactly how he likes to use it.
0-1 count. Jones not going. Markakis 8 up on a pitch down and into him, and a 2-strike count.
Well, Nick Markakis off to a great start. Most hits through 16 games by an Oriole. Eddie Murray with 29 in 1982. Javi Lopez had a great start in 04. Ken Singleton, and then Nick Markakis with 24, tied with 6 others for RBIs through 16 games.
0-2 count on him, with Aubrey Huff waiting on deck, and the throw over. Jones has extended that lead about as far as you can get it, and an 0-2 count.
It's a real battle right now for Nick Markakis. Slow curveball outside, slider off the plate inside that he swung at. He's just got to try to defend the strike zone now, protect the plate. And there's so many places Padilla can go. He can go inside with the 2-seamer. He can try to paint him away with a fastball.
Jones edging off first base. The 0-2 delivery up high. Padilla's numbers are the opposite. Koji Uehara with runners on base. He really struggles out of the stretch. Teams are hitting .429 off him when he's out of the stretch, and .276 when he's winding up. So if you're going to get to it, get runners on, you probably got a better shot at it.
Yeah, most starters are a little more comfortable out of the windup, and they get a little anxious. They don't have the same delivery with runners on base.
1-2 count. Runner not going. That one's going to be a base hit the other way. Jones will stop at second. Bird will get it in, and the Orioles 2 on, 1 down here in the fourth inning.
Pitch by pitch, a big breaking ball for strike 1. Slider down and in. He swings over the top of it, lays off the high fastball, and then gets a breaking ball away, and that's what you're supposed to do with the pitch. 2 strikes, bad selection by Padilla in my mind. Nick's got 2 strikes. All he's trying to do is put the ball in play. You give him a chance to see the ball out of your hand, and you elevate a slider, and he slapped it into left field.
Orioles trailing here 1-0. RBI by Ian Kinsler, third inning. Kinsler had an 0 for 11. at the time in the third when he got out of it with an RBI base hit, bringing home Salta Lamacchia, who had doubled. Now the Orioles trying to get it back and more. Aubrey Huff grounded out first time up. 1 down, 2-1. Padilla. Andrus, the shortstop, moving in at second. There's that off-speed pitch again. Misses for a ball. Padilla wanted the call, didn't get it.
Yeah, this is one thing that Aubrey Huff is very good at. If a pitcher falls into a pattern pitching to Nick Markakis and he brings that pattern to Aubrey Huff, he'll pick up on it. After that first pitch curveball to Markakis, he came back with a slider inside. You've got to think that Aubrey's looking inner half right now on this pitch with 2 aboard.
Jones and Markakis are the base runners. Aubrey 7 for 21 with runners in scoring position and 15 RBIs. 1-0 delivery. Does come inside with it and misses, and the count goes to 2-0.
One thing that Aubrey really wants to do at the plate in situations like this is don't get too big. Put your front foot down quickly. Keep your elbows against your body and drop the head. Use that bat head to get to the ball quickly. Don't try to get too big. When you do that, you drop your back shoulder.
2-0 hitters count for him. Padilla in with it, and that's what he did. Drives it into right center field. Nobody going to get that one. All the way to the wall. Aubrey Huff. Jones will score. Markakis will score. It's a double, 2 RBIs. He's going to go to third and no throw. Good heads up base running by Aubrey Huff. And the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
What a piece of hitting by Aubrey Huff right out over the plate. He drills it to center field. And Nick Markakis running at first base gets a great read and broke immediately on contact. He is running right behind Adam Jones, who scores easily. The relay not in time to get Markakis, who scores all the way from third base. And Aubrey Huff moves over to third. Great base running, but Markakis, who got a good read on the ball off the bat and scores the go-ahead run.
And the Orioles are up. Coming into the inning without a hit, the last 3 have delivered 2 singles and a double. Infield halfway in with Ty Wigginton up. And a runner on at third base. So Texas wanting to try and cut this run off if they can with Huff on at third and Wigginton at the plate.
The last time Aubrey Huff and the Orioles faced Padilla down in Texas, they knocked him out of the game in the 4th inning. They have gained the lead here in the 4th inning again. Second time through the order. They've got a pretty good idea what they're going to see from Padilla, and they've capitalized.
Aubrey Huff 6 doubled. He's got 17 RBIs. Moved over to third base on the throw. 1-0 delivery on the way to Wigginton, and that will be a strike on the outside corner. Ty Wigginton also trying to establish a little more patience at the plate. Take a look at more pitches. Historically, Wigginton has been one of those at the top in fewest pitches seen per plate appearance. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Wigginton to second, runner not going. Kinsler will make sure. Gets the out, and there are 2 down. So did not get that runner in. And leave it up to Luke Scott. Scott grounded out to short. His first time up. And he has done a super job with the runners on base. And he looks for another RBI. He's got 10 so far in the season.
A big opportunity here to expand the lead with 2 outs.
It makes you feel bad when you get a runner to third and either 1 or no outs and you don't get him in.
Yeah, it sure does. It's a gimme RBI, and Ty Wigginton will be kicking himself in that dugout. He couldn't get Aubrey Huff home with less than 2 outs.
Luke Scott 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Infield, of course, backs up now with 2 down. Padilla with a 1-0 delivery. And the off speed out in front of it, 1-1.
Now, Luke Scott's got a pretty good idea what he's going to get from Padilla, but so far he hasn't been able to take advantage of it. He's just 1 for 10 with that ground ball out in the first at bat back in the second. But right now, you could bet Scott's thinking, okay, he got me to chase away. He's going to come inside with that 2-seam fastball here.
1-1 delivery to him, and came up high with it, and it's taken. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Dave Tremblay was talking about Luke Scott before the game today and how he is hit better off left-handers and needs to do that if he's going to be in that DH role against both righties and lefties. And the manager saying he's been more willing to take that ball to left field. And he said so long as he's willing to do that, his numbers against left-handers are going to be better. And a balk called. Third base umpire Paul Scribner called a balk on Padilla. That'll bring Washington, the skipper of Texas, out to have a word with him. There's a freebie.
Watch Padilla. Toes the rubber. He gets set. He's looking at the sign. And then he steps off. Yep. He started his delivery from the set position. Just stepped off the rubber. And it was indeed a balk. Big insurance run there.
Wow. 2-1 delivery on the way will be foul back. So the Orioles now have a 3-1 lead. And Padilla, there was no argument. He knew he had done that.
Yeah, he just forgot that, he had that runner at third base. Aubrey Huff with a big 2-run double scores the third run. And Paul Schreiber at third base saw it immediately and awarded Huff home plate.
So Scott now with the bases empty and 2 away. And here's the 2-2 from Padilla. And that's up high. 3-2. Padilla's got to regain his poise now and not lose sight of his job out there. After giving that run up. Scott knows that. He may groove one right here.
That's the most interesting aspect of catching is you've got to be able to get a pitcher back into that groove he had in the first 3 innings.
3-2 delivery fouled away.
And it's always been a tag on Padilla. He'll breeze for a certain amount of the game and then just lose it. And when you get to the top of the order in this lineup or any lineup for that matter, you're dealing with the best hitters in their lineup and you better have your thoughts together. 1 out single. 1 out single, 1 out double.
Scott battling on the 3-2. And he is going to get a base hit into left field. That's what we were talking about. Now this is against a right-handed pitcher. Still willing to take the ball to left with a nice easy swing rather than trying to pull the ball.
Well, he's made some adjustments as you watch Padilla's delivery and then the reaction to the hit. But see how his bat is flat? That allows him to stay on the plane of the ball away from him, and he's not conscious of pulling the ball.
Mike Maddox, who is the pitching coach, coming out to have a word now with Padilla. Padilla got his win against Cleveland in the first game, 5 2/3. The Orioles, as Buck said, took him out in 3 1/3 with 7 runs and 11 hits. And then his last start against Kansas City, he gave up 5 runs on 8 hits. In 5 innings of work. So ERA is 9.64 coming into this game for Padilla.
Yeah, man, he left that Kansas City game trailing 5-3 after 5 innings. And they saw some good pitching in Kansas City. Actually, they were at home against Kansas City. Saw Gil Mesh, Zach Greinke, and Kyle Davies in a 3-game series. And a lot of people are talking about the depth of the Royals starting staff.
So now Greg Zahn with a runner at first base and 2 down. And this is interesting. Zahn showed bunt. Tried to lay one down last time up. So Young has moved way in at third base. Zahn is not a bunter. It's just he's got an 0-for going. He's 0 for his last 9. He just wants to get out of that any way he can. Get the bat going again. 1-0 delivery. There's that off-speed breaking ball again, 1-1.
Big slow curveball. And at third base, Michael Young knows that if Zahn hits the ball down the third base line, it's not going to be sharply hit. So he can come in and it's kind of the guard against the swinging bunt or the bunt. So he'll play even with a bag at third.
Orioles getting 3 runs in so far here in the 4th. 1-1 delivery. That's going to miss up high. And a 2-ball 1-strike count on Zahn. Zahn is 5 for 18 lifetime off Vincente Padilla. And the Oriole catcher. Decent numbers off Padilla. And would like to get the bat going against him right here. Padilla misses outside with it. Padilla's been upset at a couple of calls here of late by Paul Narth, the home plate umpire, too, so that's not helping his focus.
Yeah, I just think that he is focused on the wrong thing. He was getting good calls early. He's not making the same pitches with his fastball at all. He's become very tentative, and he's trying to lob those breaking balls into the strike zone. It's not working.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Scott with a lead at first, a short lead. But he is 3-1. Another off-speed breaking ball, and he doesn't like that call, and it is a walk. Zahn is on with a free pass. 2 on, 2 down.
He went through the lineup for Ron Washington. 3 up, 3 down, 3 innings in a row. Retired the minimum through the first 3 innings using his fastball. And now he's become a guy that's going to try to trick hitters, and it's cost him 2 runs here, 3 runs, and maybe more before it's all said and done.
Zalto-Lamakia, the young catcher, in a situation where you're probably going along with your veteran pitcher here, if that's what he wants to throw. There's a fastball in there for a strike. PA drew a walk his first time up. Orioles with the 2 RBIs by Huff on the double. The third one came in on a balk. Now 2 on again with 2 away. And a timeout taken by Zalto-Lamakia at the plate. And Felix PA with an RBI chance. PA looking for his first hit with a runner in scoring position. He's 0 for 9. Does have 2 RBIs. And that one in the air, left center field. Hamilton has it. That will retire the side, but the Orioles take advantage of it as they've got 3 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2 on base, and the Orioles take the lead with Huff getting the 2 ribbies on a double.
Once again this season, fans can enjoy the Bud Light Warehouse Bar on Utah Street, open 2 hours before and 1 hour after each Orioles home game. There's plenty of big screen HD TVs to catch all the action on Masson. Plus, each game, the O's all-access pregame show is broadcast live from the bar with Tom Davis and Dave Johnson. So don't miss the bar's pregame specials and postgame fun. It's at the Bud Light Warehouse Bar on Utah Street. Gary?
Good place to be here on the weekend night at Camden Yards. 69 degrees temperature at game time. Here's Nelson Cruz. Uehara, no walks, 4 strikeouts so far. Cruz a strike on the outside corner, strikeout victim, his first time up.
I'm going to keep our eye on Koji now and see how he reacts to the 2-run lead. Using the fastball there to get ahead. That's what's been his MO throughout the course of the night.
Puts that one high in the air to left center field. PA coming over. A rainmaker right there, and he got it. Cruz is retired. He's 0 for 2. 1 down in the 5th inning. Uehara looking for his 3rd win against 1 loss. He comes in with left-handers hitting only 156 against him, and right-handers 343. He's given up 2 long balls, 1 to each side of the plate in the first 3 starts. Chris Davis, first baseman, strikeout victim, his first time up. If you put the numbers together for Uehara from Japan now in the 2-1 record here, 112 wins and 62 losses. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. And you can see pitch by pitch. He's gotten more command as the game has unfolded. Another split finger pitch. He has him ahead again. But as Dave Tremblay referred to before the game, he said Uehara is a very bright pitcher that picks up on tendencies and reacts to what hitters are doing during the course of the game and makes the adjustments.
0-2 delivery on the way. In that regard, Adam Eaton last night, part of his performance, Adam last night threw 13.9 pitches per inning. In his first 2 starts, he was averaging over 24. So he went from 24 pitches per inning down to 13.
And because of that, he was able to stay in the game to 7 1/3.
Yeah. 0-2 count on the way. Another rainmaker. Roberts going back. Markakis, Jones, they've all going to have time to get there. And Adam Jones will put it away. And there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. 2 down, nobody on. Saltalamacchia had a double in the 3rd inning and would come around to score on Kinsler's 2-out base hit for the lone run on the board for Texas. Orioles out hitting the Rangers 4-2 at the moment. The other thing about Eaton last night, he had 9 strikeouts and no walks. It is the most strikeouts without a walk he has ever had in his 200 major league games. That's how good he was last night. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that is a strike taken. 1-1 to Saltalamacchia.
And I still believe Dave Tremblay's words prior to his start about the fact that he wasn't fighting for his job. He was in the rotation, freed him up, allowed him to be really aggressive.
And he was, and Uehara's coming on to this point pitching the same kind of ball game.
How many times we talked about hitting being contagious? Well, we're seeing a great example of pitching being contagious.
Yep.
And you got to credit Brad Bergeson in his first major league start, coming out firing strikes.
1-2 delivery outside. You want push on a baseball team. You want hitters pushing hitters. You want position players pushing position players. You want pitchers pushing pitchers. You want there to be a little pressure. 2-2 delivery. In hockey, it's always referred to as the conscience of the team. You look for the player whose effort becomes your conscience on your team. The guy where the other guys on the bench are looking and going, geez,
if he can do that,
he can do that. I better get out there and do that.
Yep.
2-2 delivery ripped to the corner. That'll be a base hit. Markakis playing it off the wall. And with the play in the arm, he holds him to a long single. So Saltalamacchia 2 for 2 in the ball game with a double and a single.
Well, he hit that ball right on the button. A one hopper off the fence. First double was a broken bat double down the right field line. Pitch was up. You can see where it is, and he gets great extension out over the plate. Saltalamacchia is a fine hitter. Hits well from both sides of the plate. Has his 2nd double tonight. That'll give him 5 on the season.
Now the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, Andrus, with a runner at first base at number 3 on the board for Texas. Andrus will take it outside. He flied out to right field. Just 20 years old, out of Maracay, Venezuela. It's only his 5th professional season. 275 minor league hitter with over 1,500 at bats, almost 1,600 in the minor leagues. And now getting a chance at a very tender age to be an everyday player at the major league level.
It came out of Double-A, and there was a lot of controversy initially when Ron Washington made the announcement Andrus is going to be our shortstop and Michael Young's going to play 3rd base. And the guy that got caught off guard most by that was Michael Young.
Yeah.
And initially his reaction was, well, I think I want to be traded. And then he backed off of that. Michael Young's a consummate professional, great teammate, and he understood it was all about the team. But Elvis Andrus played Double-A. High as he got. Frisco played in 118 games in Double-A last year, and here he is with the everyday job now with the Texas Rangers.
And you were moving a Gold Glove player from short in Young. Check swing. He got tagged. He's out of there. The home plate umpire, Paul Nart, making the call. That's 5 strikeouts. Uehara. He's only surrendered the 3 hits. 3-1 O's.
base hit through the left side to drive home Jared Saltalamacchia. And then Aubrey Huff with 2 aboard and 1 out hits a double to the wall in center field to score Adam Jones and Nick Markakis 2-0. And then the balk by Vicente Padilla. Aubrey Huff comes in to score. 3-1 Orioles here as we bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. But Aubrey Huff again comes through with a big 1-out double to the wall in center, drives home 2 runs. He now has 17 ribbies.
Izturis, the only Oriole not to hit in that last half inning, goes after the first pitch from Padilla. Kinsler's got it. And there's one away here in the 5th. Red Sox have the 1-0 lead over the Yankees 4th inning in the American League East. Toronto with a 2-game win streak leading Boston and the Yankees by 2. Both are 9 wins, 6 losses. Red Sox 7-game win streak. The Orioles 3.5 behind, and Tampa Bay 5.5 behind in the East.
Yeah, Boston scored that run on an Ellsbury single, a balk to second. He stole third and scored on a pass ball.
Ooh. The third one that we've seen high and tight. This one to Brian Roberts.
Yeah, and up again, same spot. And we have talked about this. Markakis was spun back. Roberts now spun back. Luke Scott up and in, about shoulder high.
Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. Roberts, a big cut, will foul it away. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of fly ball outs. Brian closing in on his 1,000th game as an Oriole. He is 7 shy of that now. He'll become the 15th player to play in 1,000 games for the O's. He will tie Rafael Palmeiro when he gets there for 14th place all time. Hit in the air and deep to right. Is it fair? Way back. Goodbye. Home run. That's how you answer inside chin music.
Roberts jumps on a high fastball out over the plate, turns on and gets full extension, and he continues to wear out Vicente Padilla. He is now 11 for 18 against Padilla. That's his first home run of the season to widen the lead to 3 runs.
4 RBIs for Roberts, who's primarily been the table setter, and you saw that stare right there. Did you see that? He was looking out at the mound. That one's going to be a base hit into left field. Adam Jones, the big turn, will stay with a single. Ball gets away, Jones back. And that home run by Roberts may be the one that ultimately will knock Padilla out of this ball.
Yeah, and Adam Jones is set up looking for that first pitch fastball, gets it and hammers it into left field. His second hit in 3 trips tonight. Boy, what a different game for Padilla. First 3 innings, he was in charge. Next 2 innings, the Orioles are in charge.
Padilla's given up 4 home runs on the season now, and 3 of those have come against left-handers. The Orioles take a 4-1 lead. Runner at first, only 1 down here in the 5th inning. Nick Markakis, a single scored and been called out on strikes. Adam Jones at first base has tantalized Padilla with an extended lead before in this game. Inside, down low to Nick Markakis. Well, the Orioles, who have done a number on Padilla here, we told you 1-5 at Camden Yards for him and an ERA over 9, and they are doing it again. 1-0 count. Padilla with a long set. And that's going to be taken down low, 2-0.
Gary, you made the point of how Padilla struggles pitching out of the set position, and you can see he's much more deliberate. He has no rhythm. He doesn't have much momentum going. And I think just the distraction of having a base runner on splits his attention between the hitter and first base, and it's created problems for him.
Yeah, when that happens, the hitter gets a real advantage, doesn't he? And the pitcher's worried about the runner and the step off. If Texas has to go to the pen, and it looks like they will, it is a redesigned pen. Over the last 10 days, the Rangers have added 4 new members to their bullpen. 2-0 count. Markakis will take it inside. Mendoza is up in the bullpen. Luis Mendoza was just added yesterday. Came up from Oklahoma City. Willie Iyer was placed on the DL again. Right groin problem. They thought it was corrected. He came back and almost immediately had to go back on the DL. 3-0 count. Jones off first. Padilla with a long wait. And it's taken for a strike. Derek Holland has been called up from Oklahoma City. Josh Roop didn't make it. He's been designated for assignment. Former Oriole Chris Benson on the 15-day DL. So Darren O'Day was claimed off waivers from the Mets. And Scott Feldman was moved into the starting rotation. He'll pitch against the Orioles tomorrow as a starter coming out of the pen. Then the addition of Mendoza. So those are all additions to go with Frank Francisco, Eddie Guadardo, Jason Jennings, and C.J. Wilson, who were there at the start of the year. So that's a major revision in a 10-day period for the Texas bullpen. 3-ball, 1-strike count on Marquez. There goes Jones. Foul back into the screen. He wanted that one.
Boy, he sure did. Had the count in his favor. Had Adam off and running. A chance to maybe score from first base if he hits the ball in the gap. And Marquez, who has been on fire, got a 3-1 pitch out over the plate. He'd like to have that pitch back. He's probably going to get another good one here on a 3-2 count.
Pretty good chance. 3-2, 1 away. Jones was running on the last pitch. See if he does it again here. Padilla again, that long set. Runner goes, and that will be fouled off. Nick Marquez with the single that he picked up in that last half inning has extended his hit streak now to 11 games. Nick has the longest streak right now in the majors in reaching base, 25 consecutive games. Chase Utley had held the record but did not reach in the ball game yesterday. So Utley was stopped at 33 consecutive.
And the longest hit streak for the season is 12, held by Carlos Pena. That's no longer active.
Nick Marquez has gone as many as 17 consecutive games in his career with a hit. Now up to 11 in this one. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Jones not going. There'll be no play for Saltalamacchia, and Padilla's really getting worked here by this Orioles order that has hit him so hard. Count remains at 3-2.
Well, and I tell you, after starting out working so efficiently through the first 3 innings, Padilla's pitch count's up to 87 now. And the Orioles have done exactly what they had hoped. They've taken pitches, they've spoiled good pitchers, and hit the mistakes.
8th pitch will be coming up in this at bat to Marquez. 3-2 count. Runner not going, and that one missed. So Marquez will win that battle. The 3rd walk surrendered by Vicente Padilla. It'll bring Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, back for his 2nd visit. Every Monday and Thursday home game this season, you're going to have a chance to meet former Oriole players and coaches with the Orioles Alumni Autograph Series. The former O's will be at the Masson tent on Utah Street near Gate A, starting an hour and a half before first pitch. We hope you'll stop by, share memories with the Orioles alumni. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD, to go to Orioles.com. And hey, that's a great program. Paul Blair back here tonight. They're not going to announce who they are. They're going to be surprise visits by former Orioles on those Mondays and Thursdays. So you get to the ballpark, Gate A, Utah Street, go see who's there, and have an Orioles chat and get an autograph.
Yeah, Joe Urslack has been here recently. Tippy Martinez was on the set with Rick Dempsey and Jim Hunter. Always a lot of Orioles around, but that's a special promotion. Mondays and Thursdays, you can come out and see some of your older Orioles.
One down here. Aubrey Huff again at the plate. This time there are 2 on. Towards second, Kinsler. Bad. Oh, he tried to glove that throw to second base, and it just rolled away. It'll be an error, and the bases are loaded.
Looked like he wasn't really sure if he wanted to just flip it with his glove or go in there and get it. And he never really got his hand on it. You could see he doesn't come out of his glove cleanly. He was going to flip it, but Bobble, it looked like the ball hit on the end of his thumb and never got a grip on the ball to flip it to Andrus at second base. Boy, that's a costly play right there, and certainly sets up Ty Wigginton again.
They're going to call that a base hit.
Wow.
How can that be? But it is. So the bases are loaded. Ty Wigginton, first ball hitting. Not particularly deep. Jones the lead runner. Hamilton the catch. Jones starts to come. Throw is cut off. So Wigginton has had some chances tonight to get a couple of RBIs. Did not in the fourth and does not here in the fifth.
Well, it's good pitch by Padilla in that situation, not showing the effects to this point of that misplay behind him, and that's a very liberal scoring decision to give Aubrey Huff a hit on that play. Ian Kinsler looked like he was going to flip it for at least one out.
Now Luke Scott with the bases loaded, and there are two down. The Orioles have done very well as a team with runners in scoring position, hitting .288, but only .206 as a team when there are two down. And there are two down here. Scott lifts it in the air to short. Andrus going out. Hamilton coming in. Left fielder Bird wants it and will put it away. So that will retire the side. Three are left on, but the Orioles' Brian Roberts gets his first home run of the year, extends the lead to 4-1. Fans out there along. And Oriole fans, when it comes to tickets, you deserve Major League service, so go to StubHub, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Orioles. Upcoming ball games, Texas is the 4-game set. 7 tomorrow, 1:30 on Sunday, and 7 on Monday, and then the Angels will be coming to town.
Spectacular weekend at the Inner Harbor, and certainly a great opportunity to watch these two good ball clubs swing the bats here.
Ian Kinsler, as he has picked up an RBI, the only one Texas has in the third inning. Got him out of an 0-for that he'd been in, 0 for 11. Still batting at .385 on the season. 17 RBIs. Strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Kinsler. Koji Uehara, no walks and 5 strikeouts, giving up the 1 run on just 3 hits. Inside.
Ian Kinsler hit for the cycle back on the 15th of April. Part of that 19-run breakout game for the Texas Rangers. Helped them salvage one of the 3 games in that 3-game set down at Arlington. And he's a special hitter. He and Michael Young, top of the order. You can see what he has done since 2008 against the Orioles. .540. That's his average.
He will foul that one off. 14 RBIs and 3 home runs against the Orioles in the last 2 years. for Ian Kinsler. Two outstanding all-star caliber second basemen in this ball game in Kinsler and Roberts. 2-2. Leadoff batter has not been on in the ball game, and not going to be on here either. Jones, one away in the sixth. Young and Josh Hamilton will be coming up. Double by Saltalamacchia, a single by the catcher, and the single by Kinsler. The only 3 hits in the ball game for Texas. Michael Young 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice. Rangers coming off a ball game against Toronto yesterday where they fanned 13 times in that game. They have struck out 5 in this one. So they've now struck out 60 times in the last 6 games, 5.5 games. They are really piling up the Ks. There's the 0-1 delivery on the way, off the end of the bat and foul. When you see foul balls like that, you know the pitcher has got the rhythm of the hitters really off.
Yeah, it sure does.
Shot.
And you know what? Uehara started with the fastball. He used that, established the fastball early, and then in very timely fashion, he's incorporating the cutter, little changeup now and then, split finger pitch. But the majority of the pitches have been well-placed fastballs.
Right there. Uehara gives a little jerk of the glove out there. That's the 6th strikeout he has. They're 2 down.
Boy, you talk about dotting the I. Watch the glove. Pow, right in the heart of that glove of Greg Zahn as Uehara delivers another quality fastball down and away, and nothing Young could do about it.
Uehara has 2 down here in the 6th inning. He retired the side in order in the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, and has a chance to do it here in the 6th. Josh Hamilton has struck out and has flied out. Pops that one up. Zahn. And a 1-2-3 inning. Sets them down in order. Uehara dominating these Texas hitters, and the Orioles have a 4-1 lead.
On that rehab start that Rich Hill had in Frederick tonight, he lasted 3 innings. He gave up just 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 hits batsman. Interestingly, though, he only threw 33 pitches. 24 were for strikes, but he finished the rest of his work in the bullpen after the game, after he was pulled after the 3rd inning. There really wasn't a reason given for that, but we're told that he's fine. He felt good, and hopefully we'll see him again another rehab start. Gary?
All right, Amber, thank you very much. And Dave Tremblay saying before the game that's somebody they definitely want up here, but as the skipper put it, he's going to have to pitch a while before.
Yeah, he needs spring training.
Yeah.
He absolutely needs spring training. 4, 5, 6 starts not out of the realm of possibility. He's got to build up his stamina, and 3 innings tonight, he came out of the game, but he's going to have to go through some starts, get his legs underneath him, gets used to getting up, getting down, going back and forth between innings. And yeah, it's going to be a while yet. No reason to get too anxious and worry about Rich Hill just yet.
Greg Zahn at the plate. Zahn has grounded out and walked. Padilla forcing his way through this ball game. Having given up the 4 runs, 7 hits, he's gotten key outs. He could easily have been knocked out of the ball game a couple of times, and once in the 4th and a couple of times in the 5th. Orioles have stranded 5 in the last 2 innings. Zahn, a towering fly ball that is fouled off. And you got to believe this is part of what Buck and I were talking about earlier. The new Texas organization under Nolan Ryan saying to pitchers, we are not going to base how long you stay in a ball game on the pitch count. We want you out there on the mound with expectations of going deep into ball games.
Yeah, and when Nolan Ryan speaks about pitching, you have a tendency to listen.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Andy made a good point about that before the game. 2-2 delivery. Got him. That'll be the 3rd strikeout. Zahn retired. When I was talking with Andy about the Texas experiment, if you will, in not using the pitch count, and maybe at the top, Andy said, look, if there's one person to try this that the rest of us in Major League Baseball are going to look at and respect the effort, it's Nolan Ryan. He puts his credibility and his great numbers out there in front for the other organizations to see how it works. And the pitchers, obviously, what are you going to say to Nolan Ryan talking about pitch counts?
Yeah,
he used to go 140, 150.
Yeah. Imagine Nolan Ryan pitching with a pitch count when he was coming up with the Mets.
He wouldn't have gotten through 3 innings.
Never. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make the pitchers understand if you manage your pitch per inning, you can then go out there time and time again. And as I mentioned, the analogy with a boxer is you fight for 3 minutes and everything's okay. You can go 10, 12 rounds. But if you start extending those rounds to 5-minute rounds, then you run out of gas.
And that strike on the inside corner. PA is gone. And you have to credit Padilla here with hanging tough. I mean, he's been right on the edge of the cliff a couple of times in this game.
Well, he sure has. 0-2 pitch. What do you do when you've got a hitter in a hole? You finish him off right at the top of the strike zone. 2-seam fastball that works its way back toward the inside corner. Paul Nard has been the same all night long, aggressive to call those strikes.
As Torres to second base, Kinsler makes the play, and a 1-2-3 inning for Padilla. So he completed 6 here at Camden Yards. The Orioles have the lead 4-1.
Well pitched ball game so far, an impressive performance by Uehara.
Yeah, you know what, Gary, I don't care who you are. If you get a well pitched game, you look like a good ball club. And again tonight, just 3 hits allowed by an Orioles starting pitcher, and they're really into the flow of the game. And as a hitting ball club, then you sense like it's not going to take many runs, so they really focus on each and every at bat. That's what they did in the 4th inning against Vicente Padilla and scored the 3 runs.
Danger in this ball game, of course, is the fact you're facing a Texas team that leads the league
in homers. So even if it's not Texas where you're playing, you never get enough runs against this ball club.
Well, they lead the league in homers, and they also lead the league in runs scored per game, 6.3 runs. So they're well within striking distance of the Orioles, and Uehara is going to have to continue to try to neutralize these Ranger hitters and start out the inning without allowing them opportunity to get base runners on.
You're really getting to see, as Oriole fans now, the repertoire that Buck has talked about. So many pitches, and he throws so many of them, if not in the strike zone, at least around it. Got to be real tough for hitters to try and figure out what to look for.
Yeah, it sure is, but it all plays off the fastball. Once he establishes the fastball, it's a matter of throwing strikes, and then he has many other pitches he can complement that fastball with. But he's pitching ahead right now very well.
And got him to chase that one that was a little bit outside the strike zone, and evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hank Blaylock, cleanup batter, designated hitter, has flied out and popped out in the ball game. 2 ball 2 strike count on Blaylock. And just missed inside. Uehara thought he might have been able to get that one, but doesn't. And the count will go to 3-2. Up to 82 pitches thrown in the ball game for the O's starter tonight. 3-2 delivery. Towering fly ball right field. Nick Markakis going back. Warning track wall and up and goodbye home run. And that's what we were talking about. Blaylock on a 3-2 pitch delivers the long ball and makes it a 4-2 ball game, a solo home run. That's his 4th of the year.
You know, we talk about this team leading the American League in home runs. That's number 30 on the season, and a 3-2 fastball out over the plate. Markakis just can't make a play. It's into the seats well beyond that 373 mark. Yeah, this is a dangerous Rangers team. It's very difficult to keep them quiet all night long, and now it's a 2-run game.
Leadoff batter on. First time in the ball game and all the way around with it. That one, Marlon Byrd puts up in the air. Wigginton and Son, and Wigginton wants it and makes the play. Byrd retired. He's 0 for 3. 1 down, 7th inning.
Well, that was an interesting pitch. After giving up the home run, Uehara comes right back, throws a first pitch strike, and gets an out on the next pitch.
Gotta like that.
Right here, Zon's got a beat on it. Then he hears Wigginton caught him off, peels out of the way, and gives the third baseman plenty of room to make the catch.
1 away. Here's Cruz. He has struck out and flied out. Nelson Cruz will take the pitch up high for a ball. You can see this Texas team, even in a ball game that's late and close, they're not inclined to take a lot of pitches. They come up swinging. That is in there for a strike. Cruz entered the year as a .251 major league hitter in games he played with Milwaukee and Texas, up and down with Texas over the last 4 years. That is taken inside for a ball, and a 2-ball 1 strike count. Uehara still in a tight ball game here, 4-2. Orioles have hit Texas 7-4. Scooped away by Zahn, and a 3-1 count. Now you start getting to that danger zone. Cruz here in this ballpark at Camden Yards, 6 hits in 17 at bats. The times he's been here. 3-1 count. He's got an 8-game hit streak going, and tried to catch up with that one and didn't. 3-2.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to single to right to get his hit streak alive. He had a big home run cut. 6 home runs on the season, and watch how his head flies off this ball. Everything was good except right to the end, and he pulls his head out. Never really saw the ball when it got into that hitting zone.
Stays at 3-2, back into the screen. Cruz will be followed by Chris Davis in the order, with only 1 away here. Uehara not wanting to get that potential tying run to the plate in this ball game. Rick Kranitz on the bullpen phone. 3-2 delivery, hit in the air, center field deep, going back. Jones, 4-10 to the wall, and he gets it shy of the warning track. Long out Nelson Cruz, and there are 2 down. Yankees are going to be visiting Oriole Park May 8th through the 10th, the only weekend series between the 2 ball clubs here this year. You can get your tickets now and paint the park orange. Birds battle the longtime Yankee fandom. The tickets start at just $15. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. Yankees have trailed the Red Sox. Went up 2-1, and that's going to be it. So Uehara is going to come out of the ball game 6 2/3 innings. An impressive performance, giving up just the 4 hits, no walks again, and 6 strikeouts. And the fans will recognize him as he takes the high knuckles. And an outstanding performance, 6 2/3. Chance to win his 3rd of the year and 2 against Texas. Jamie Walker out of the bullpen.
Jamie Walker has been well rested, and he is much better when he has the ability to go match up. 2 outs now. This is a guy he needs to retire. Left-handed hitting first baseman Chris Davis.
Davis on a check swing. Walker's going to have to hustle it and can't get him. Accidental swing base hit for Chris Davis. His first of the ball game, and brings the potential tying run to the plate in Jared Saltalamacchia, who as a switch hitting catcher has doubled and singled in this ball game. So all of a sudden the game gets a whole lot tighter, and that will be it for Walker, as Dave Tremblay wants to turn Saltalamacchia around. Chris Ray will be coming out of the bullpen for the O's. So Walker will face only one batter giving up the hit. Ray will come on to try and protect the Orioles' 4-2 lead. out of the bullpen, establishing himself now as one of the three that Dave Tremblay wants to use late in a ball game, maybe even getting a chance to close once in a while. So far, numbers.
6 games so far this year. His last 4 games have been very impressive. 4 in the 3rd innings of scoreless relief, just 4 hits allowed, and he is really starting to regain the confidence that he had prior to his Tommy John surgery.
Saltalamacchia will stand in, 2 for 2 in the ball game, hitting .227, couple of home runs, 6 RBIs, runner at first. Orioles lead by 2. Dave Tremblay before the game today explained the bullpen. He went through it. He said Ray, Johnson, George Sherrill, 7, 8, and 9th innings. Walker, a swing man, matchups. Bass, long man. Albers, non-save situations in the 9th inning and a long reliever. Baez, use him in matchups. Does not want to use George Sherrill more than 2 days in a row in saves. He said I wouldn't hesitate to use Ray and Baez in save situations if Sherrill had 2 consecutive days of work in the 9th inning. 1-1 delivery. So he feels as though obviously at this point he's got the definitions of roles defined for all the bullpen guys.
And those roles are so effective when the bullpen is properly rested. And you get proper rest when the starters pitch into the 7th.
Saltalamacchia with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Chris Davis on at first base, not being held. Stays alive on the foul ball to keep it at 1-2.
When Chris Ray started the season, he had a little bit of problems with his sinking fastball. It was flat running along the plane of the bat. A lot of that had to do with adrenaline, as he had missed the entire season a year ago coming back from that elbow surgery. But he also made a mechanical adjustment to stand taller on that back leg.
1-2 delivery on the way. Took a little off that, just missed outside. And Saltalamacchia with a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, that's that splitter that just missed away. But Ray has so many weapons. Great fastball, very good tight slider, and that split finger pitch.
Runner off first, 2-2 delivered. Saltalamacchia is going to get another base hit into left field. Davis will stop at second as PA will get it back in. So a 3-for-3 ball game by Saltalamacchia, who had gone only 1 for 9 against the Orioles in the games played in Texas. And all of a sudden the Rangers creeping ever closer. Number 9 hitter coming up. Their shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
Well, Dave Tremblay talked about the significance of the bottom of the order in anyone's lineup. When you can get those guys on and get the top of your order up in run-producing situations, that's when teams become most dangerous. He's a batter away from that situation now in the 7th.
Ray out of the stretch with 2 down. Slider catches the outside corner for a strike. As we said, with this ball club, you never get enough. Uehara has got a chance to be the winner, hoping this pen now can maintain the lead. 0-1 delivery. That one a little too far outside. Andrus has only had 3 chances with runners in scoring position this season and has picked up a couple of hits. He's batted in that 9-hole. He's got 2 on here in Davis and Saltalamacchia. 1-1 delivery on the way. Fouled off. 1-2. Two down. A ball game that most would reasonably have anticipated to be a 8-5, 8-6, 10-9 type ball game with these two teams. Has been a very well pitched game on both sides. A very tight ball game. 1-2, runners off first and second. Andrus, slow grounder. Ray picks it up and gets the out. So 1 run on 3 hits with 2 left on base. Chance for Koji to be a winner. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Markakis, Scott, Roberts all saw it. Roberts responded with his first home run of the year. That came in the 5th inning, and the Orioles really needed that extra run. And against Padilla, some big-time numbers.
Well, they have hit Padilla well throughout their career. This trio of Roberts, Markakis, and Huff combined for a 28 for 44. That's a .636 batting average. Tonight they are 4 for 9, including Huff's 2-run double and Roberts' solo home run in the 5th.
Vicente Padilla, the Texas starter, stayed on. There's an Ephus pitch grounded to second base. Kinsler up. That is the slowest of the slow that we have seen from Vicente Padilla in the ball game. And Roberts is now 1 for 4 with his homer.
Yeah, he has used that slow curveball pretty effectively to the left-handed hitters on a first pitch situation, and you got to give Padilla an awful lot of credit. I mean, there were many times when he had a chance to crumble in the 5th inning with the bases loaded. He got 2 big outs. Ty Wigginton to pop to center. Luke Scott to pop to left. Stranded the bases loaded in that inning, and then stranded 2 more in the 4th inning. He has hung in there and given his offense a chance to come back and erase this 2-run deficit.
Bottom of the 7th and a 2-run ball game, and there's the off-speed pitch again. In there for a strike to Adam Jones. 2 singles, a run scored, and he is lined out. Padilla with the 0-1 delivery. Ground ball towards third, has to be cut off. Young running throw. Nice pick by Davis at first base to get the out.
Well, Michael Young showing his range as a former shortstop. He made this play directly in front of the shortstop position. Watch how far to his left he goes. Then does a 360, throws the ball on line but in the dirt. Look at the effort by the big first baseman. Backhanded grab, big stretch as he retires Adam Jones. Great range by Michael Young. Tremendous bat right on the money, but in the dirt. And gets help from his big first baseman.
Quick 2 outs. Markakis will take it outside for a ball. Padilla's longest outing this year, 5 2/3 innings in his victory against Cleveland in his first start. He has worked 9 innings just 3 times in his career. 1-0 count, 2 away. Markakis. Ooh, that got him. And this 4-game series is going to get interesting. See Washington and Maddox. Maddox shaking his head yes. Time to get Padilla out of there. So Markakis will make his way down. The 4th time in this ball game we've seen pitches come very inside to Oriole hitters.
Yeah, and this blew right inside, catches him on the left knee, just above the kneecap, and we have seen many hitters tonight ducking out of that inside fastball. Markakis himself.
So that will do it for Padilla. He will come out of the ball game going 6 2/3 and be responsible for the base runner on. There are 2 down. The Orioles lead it 4-2. Padilla
11 years in Minnesota to start his career. He was the closer there in Minnesota at the end. Went to Seattle for a while, finished in Cincinnati in 2007, and came on to Texas, signed as a minor league free agent this year.
He's a workhorse. 64 appearances last year, 66 before that with the Twins back in 03. Gained the nickname of Everyday Eddie because if you needed somebody to come in to pitch, he was always available, a rubber arm. The Orioles would like to add to it here. Markakis hit by a pitch on it, first, 2 down. And Aubrey Huff will take the pitch up high. Guardado suffered a loss in the series in Texas against the Orioles. He gave up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning in the 10th in the extra inning win that the Orioles had in that series. Aubrey Huff in the off-speed pitch, a helicopter on that one, 1-1.
This has never been a picnic for Aubrey Huff. He and Eddie Guardado have matched up a lot with their careers, and Huff is just 1 for 12 against Guardado.
And with those kinds of pitches, you can see why. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Huff will take the breaking ball. Saltalamacchia, a nice play to hang on to that and prevent Markakis from getting into scoring position. Josh Shelby took a look and talked with Markakis after getting hit on the looked like the inside of the knee or close to it on that back leg at first base, and Markakis said, "I'm all right, I can stay in." So there he is at first. That's going to hurt a little bit, if not now, later. Breaking ball again outside. Saltalamacchia again going after it, and it's 3-1.
There's not a chance that Nick Markakis would leave this game to give Padilla any sort of satisfaction.
Nope. Padilla had been ringing him inside all night long, as we said, on a number of Oriole hitters. Aubrey Huff 3 for 17 against lefties so far this year. 3-1 delivery to him. Missed outside, and he gets a walk. Orioles will take that. So with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the O's get a hit batter and a walk. With 2 on and 2 down. Now you got Wigginton coming up. Do you want him to stand in against the left-hander Guardado? And we told you about all those changes in the bullpen. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, Ron Washington, the manager, may be a little reluctant to go to that pen. No, they're going to go. Guardado wanted to stay. But they're going to make the change here and not let Wigginton hit against the left-hander.
Darren O'Day looks like the right-hander has been summoned into this game. I'm not sure he's aware of it yet. He's still standing in the bullpen, and he said, "Yeah, go get him." Andy Hawkins, the bullpen coach, said, "Yeah, you're the man." Darren O'Day will come in to face Ty Wigginton.
I think Harry Belafonte will be his theme song when he comes into games. Day-o. From the Mets.
Darren O'Day made his major league debut back in 2008 with the Angels. He appeared in 30 games out of the bullpen for Los Angeles, then started the season this year with the Mets, worked in just 4 games, 3 innings, gave up 5 hits. As Gary mentioned, he was put on waivers. They opened up a spot for Gary Sheffield on that roster. He was cut loose, and the Rangers picked him up. Sidearm delivery, sinker slider, tough guy for a right-hander. And to really hang in against that sweeping breaking ball. That's been his most effective pitch. He was victimized by a Kevin Millard double in the 11th inning in his first game with the Texas Rangers up in Toronto.
So 2 down and 2 on with Markakis at second base and Huff at first, and Ty Wigginton standing in. Bottom of the 7th inning, just a 2-run difference. The Orioles leading it. Wigginton is 0 for 3 in the ball game, facing O'Day for the first time, and the pitch is inside for a ball. Wigginton only 2 hits in 15 at bats so far against Texas, and this the 4th game these teams have played. Orioles would love to be able to add at least 1 here. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and Wigginton will put that in the air to left field. Marlon Byrd meanders in. He's got it, and O'Day gets the job done. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Good ball game underway, first of 4 against the Rangers. Orioles up 4-2. You've got Uehara, who could win this. Couple of runs, 4 hits, 6 2/3 innings. Brian Roberts, his first home run of the season, and Aubrey Huff, who has delivered 2 hits, including a 2 RBI double. Text in your vote now, A, B, or C, to 518-62. Jim Johnson on the mound.
Jim Johnson worked in Tuesday's game against the White Sox. Also worked in last night's game in support of Adam Eaton. 8th appearance of the season, and Johnson has picked up right where he left off last year, pitching very well in these late inning situations. And as you heard Gary mention, that Dave Tremblay has identified their roles. Everybody has a clear idea now how they're going to be used out in that bullpen.
So we go to the 8th inning, and obviously here's where you really got to bear down. Top of the order, Kinsler, Young, and Hamilton. 4-7-0 for the Orioles, 2-6-0 for the Rangers. Johnson will come inside. Kinsler an RBI single. Blaylock has had a home run. Orioles had the homer by Roberts, 2 RBI double by Huff, and a run scored on a balk against Padilla. 1-1 delivery. Kinsler shows bunt, drops a beauty. Johnson barehanded pickup, guns it, and got him.
Very calm, cool, and collected. Jim Johnson saw the bunt, and it's a good one. Kinsler, always a threat, drops it down up the third baseline, and watch how confidently he picks it up with his bare hand and throws a strike to Aubrey Huff. Well, that's a big out. Top of this order, get the leadoff guy, and he got him easily.
So far, this top of the order, and we showed you earlier just how good they are, has had only 2 hits. as Young delivers the single. That's the second hit the top three have had in the ballgame, both singles. So with one down, Michael Young is on, and again, Texas will get the potential tying run to the plate. On Tuesday, you can spend your lunch hour with Orioles Reach and O's reliever Chris Ray. The ESPN Zone, the inner heart of the site, from noon until 1. He'll be signing autographs and saying hello. That's Tuesday, noon to 1, ESPN Zone. For details, OriolesReach.com. Chris Ray. Josh Hamilton 0 for 3. A strikeout, popped out, flied out. One down, runner on at first base. Young. Off-speed delivery will miss up high for a ball.
When you're pitching in Jim Johnson's role here, 8th inning pitcher, chances are you haven't faced a lot of the hitters, so they don't have a real good feel about what you throw. So that's why you really need to be aggressive. Early in the count, throw strikes, be aggressive, try to have the hitters swing early. You want them to get a real good feel of what you're throwing.
Hamilton just 0 for 1 against him.
Yeah, you're just not going to see these guys an awful lot. Oftentimes you never work through an entire lineup. You only come in for an inning, maybe face 2-3 batters, and you're out.
Real good ball game, and hope you'll get out here this weekend on what should be a summer-like weather-wise weekend. Mark Hendrickson will take on Scott Feldman. Feldman moving into the starting rotation with the game tomorrow for Texas. Brad Bergeson will get his second start on Sunday afternoon against Brandon McCarthy, and Jeremy Guthrie against Matt Harrison on Monday. So 7:05 tomorrow, 1:35 Sunday, 7:05 on Monday. Down the left field side by Hamilton, and that will be a foul ball into the first row. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Josh Hamilton. This game has just been very well played. Not had an error committed in the ball game. Orioles have stranded 7. Rangers have left 4 in 2 very solid starts. Uehara for the Orioles, 2 runs, 4 hits over 6 2/3, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And for Padilla, ended up giving up just the 4 runs on 7 hits in the ball game, as he went 6 2/3 innings.
Now he really hung in there and pitched a good game, keeping his club within striking distance. In a 2-run game with this Texas Rangers, you don't feel comfortable until you get that final out.
2 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and that one hit hard. Adam ball center. Yes, got him. No play at first. Line drive waist high. Had a little knuckle on it. Jones makes the play, and there are 2 down.
Always the toughest play for a center fielder is the ball hit directly at him. You don't know whether or not it's going to hang up long enough for you to make a play on it. Adam takes the ball on a basket style catch about knee high. Josh Hamilton hit it right on the button, but it was right at the Orioles center fielder.
Now Hank Blaylock. Blaylock delivered the home run in the 7th inning, his 4th of the year. The designated hitter, 1 for 3 in the ball game. As the Rangers continue to count on the long ball, and this an ever dangerous at bat, with Blaylock representing the potential tying run in the ball game in the 8th inning.
Yeah, this is why the Rangers don't worry about strikeouts. Get a base runner on and let somebody take a big swing and try to hit a big fly.
Young at first base, not going anywhere. 0-1 delivery. Blaylock, that's going to be a base hit into right center field. Jones going over to cut it off. Does. Heading to third base is Young, and it'll be just a single for Blaylock. But now there are runners at first and third with 2 down, as Blaylock's 2 for 4 in the ball game. Johnson getting hit pretty hard here. And that will bring Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, out of the dugout for a visit to the mound.
Man, just a chance to help Johnson regroup, take a deep breath, and figure out a game plan here against Marlon Byrd. Greg's on, listening to the conversation, nodding in agreement with Rick Kranitz about the approach to Marlon Byrd. Bird's a free swinger like the rest of these Rangers. He's popped up twice, last time in foul territory, first out of the 7th inning. What they have done here in this inning is just gone for the line drive into the gap. George Sherrill beginning to loosen up down in that bullpen.
So first and third, 2 down. Bird 0 for 3. First ball hitting. As Torres has a force at second. Bobble gunned it. Won't get him. Could not handle it cleanly. And a run will score as Young crosses. And it is a one-run ball game, 4-3.
This ball takes a funny hop. Take a look at it. Bird is jammed, and that ball right at the end takes a funny hop, stays down, and his Torres kind of got off balance, and the hesitation allows Marlon Byrd to hustle. You see how that ball came back, got underneath him more than he wanted it to. Michael Young, who had singled with one out, comes in to score, and now it's a one-run game.
An infield hit and an RBI for Byrd. And back out to the mound now is on, as all of a sudden Texas has gotten themselves right back into this ball game, and they've got Blaylock on at second and Byrd on at first.
Here, you mentioned earlier this Texas team leads the American League in runs per game at 6.3, and they're just never out of a ball game.
Byrd gets his 11th RBI, and Nelson Cruz will take the pitch down low for a ball. Cruz 0 for 3 in the game with a couple of fly ball outs, and he has struck out. So Johnson, the single by Young, single by Blaylock, and the single by Marlon Byrd. And here in the 8th, Texas, one more base hit will have this game tied up. Ground ball towards the hole. Diving is Torres. Can't find it. Runner will have to stop at third. Blaylock. So he prevented the run from scoring by knocking it down. It'll be another infield hit. This time Cruz gets it, and the bases are loaded.
The last thing infielders tell themselves with 2 outs in this situation, keep it on the infield, and that's what Asturias does. He knocked it down, kept it on the dirt, kept the runner at third base from scoring. Has a trouble finding it, but quickly looks at third to see if he has a play at the plate.
And a pitching change will be made with the left-hander Davis coming up. Sherrill, the closer, the lefty, is ready to go. And he will come into the ball game here in the 8th inning to face Davis. So a one-run game. Orioles up by 1. Texas has the bases loaded, 2 down.
Here he's got 2 outs in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, trying to protect the 1-run lead for Koji Uehara. Jim Johnson was touched up for 4 hits, the last 2 on the infield. Marlon Byrd with a little check swing tapper to the shortstop. Nelson Cruz with a grounder up the middle that Asturias knocked down. But the bases are loaded. Sherrill in here to face the left-hander. With Blaylock on, he singled into right field. Byrd got the ground ball to shortstop in the RBI, and Nelson Cruz had an infield hit.
The big matchup here, bases loaded, and Chris Davis, who has singled 1 for 3, will stand in with 2 down. Sherrill's pitch to him, swung on and missed, and a wild cut at that. Against Sherrill, Davis 0 for 1. With the bases loaded, 5 for 11.
And so far early in this season, he's just 1 for 10 against the left-handed pitchers.
And Sherrill's eaten up the lefties so far with a 111 batting average for them against him. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Davis, same pitch, same result, 0-2.
All right, 2 good breaking balls to start the at bat, and Sherrill is in the driver's seat here.
1 run in the 8th, 3 runners on. Orioles lead by 1. Fans are up. 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball again, stays away this time. And a 1-ball-2-strike count. Davis has had the bases loaded once this season, 1 for 1. A single. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Good stop by Zahn to keep this ball game at a 1-run differential.
A tremendous effort by Greg Zahn. This ball is thrown in the dirt. Look how far away from it he has to go, all the way to the left. Keeps his balance, stays on his feet, and snared that pitch. That would tie it up for sure.
You needed HD to see that one. 2-ball-2-strike count. Sacks are loaded. Davis swung on and missed. Sherrill gets the strikeout. 1 run, 4 hits, 3 left. Orioles still lead it by 1.
Out of the season with the bases loaded. Chris Davis at the plate. Big sweeping breaking ball, strike 1. Chases the second one, strike 2. Misses. Lays off the third one. 2-2 count, and then starts the breaking ball right at Davis. Strikes him out to get out of a big bases loaded jam, protecting a 1-run lead, and picks up Jim Johnson after Johnson was tagged with 4 hits, 2 infield hits, but George Sherrill bailed him out.
And C.J. Wilson will come out of the bullpen. He is turning into a workhorse for this Texas team. He took the loss on Wednesday. He's appeared in each of the last 3 games. Tied for 4th in the American League with 8 appearances now for Texas. So Wilson on bottom half of the 8th inning. Scott, Zahn, and PA are the scheduled hitters, with the Orioles leading it by a score of 4-3, even though they have been out hit 10-7 by the Rangers. Both teams have left 7 men on base in the ballgame. The Orioles will try and add to it here in the bottom of the 8th. Luke Scott a single, 1 for 3, 5-game hit streak now for Scott. He's batting at .310 on the season. Orioles got 3 runs in the 4th inning, and then the homer by Roberts in the 5th. Bunching their runs up. They wanted to check at 3rd here, and it did not go around, and there was no check at 3rd either. 1-ball, 1-strike count. chopper. Kinsler. One down. Texas will get a chance to turn the order over, as they will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the 9th inning for Ron Washington's team, as he's hoping Wilson can keep it at a 1-run ball game. Here's Zahn. 0 for 2 and a walk. Fastball taken up high. Two teams right back here tomorrow night. Mark Hendrickson and Scott Feldman, the two scheduled starters in game 2 of 4. That'll be in the outside corner for a strike. 1-1.
Well, Zahn's had success against C.J. Wilson. 3 hits and 4 at bats against the Ranger left-hander.
Zahn ready with a 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball over the top, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Red Sox Yankees tied in the 7th at 2-2 in their ball game. Toronto's got a 4-0 lead over the White Sox, playing in Chicago. They're in the 4th inning of their game as Toronto stays hot. 1-2 pitch is outside, and it'll go to 2-2 on Zahn. The Orioles looking for their 7th win at home. They are 6-3 here at Camden Yards. Texas on the road's only won 1 game, 1-5. Zahn will take it down low and a full count. 3-2.
Well, Texas, after sweeping the opening season series against the Indians, went through a real rough stretch. They've lost 9 out of their last 12 since then, and they haven't been quite as consistent offensively, which is surprising. They have hit a bunch of home runs.
And the 3-2 is a walk. So Wilson surrenders the walk with 1 away here in the 8th. Lou Montañez will come out as a pinch hitter for Felix P.A. And Mike Maddox will come out to talk with C.J. Wilson. Texas does not have anybody else warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, first game of a 4-game series. Obviously, you go over the hitters, and Montañez has been called up, so they didn't see him when they were together in Texas, and Mike Maddox wanted to make sure that C.J. Wilson has an idea how to approach the young right-handed hitter.
Montañez just 1 for 9, the only appearances he's had. Does have an RBI. Nothing on the board as a pinch hitter. Lou was off to a very good start playing at AAA before being called up. He had a hot bat at Norfolk, hitting at .429. Had 3 stolen bases, 3 RBIs. But he'll take the opportunity to be here, where he was part of last year.
Only his 5th pinch hitting appearance of his career. Last year he was 1 for 5 in this role, but he has hit with a lot of confidence all year long, going back to the spring where he hit .340 with this ball club.
Runner at first base on, 1 down. 1-0 delivery. Montañez in a big cut, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Fastball probably a little bit upstairs. He has a big swing, saw it very well, but you can see he was late and underneath it.
Outfield playing prevent double defense, and an outside corner strike to him. That has been a strike all night, both ways. They don't want a gap hit in that outfield, so they'll give Montañez a couple of steps back that they otherwise would not. Here's the 1-2 inside. Runner goes. Good heads up base running. Boy, Zahn gets in there. Not a speedy runner, but immediately, if you take off immediately, you can do it.
He took off before this ball hits the dirt. He sees it's going to be in the dirt, and he breaks immediately, not even concerned where the carom's going to take the ball, and moves up a big 90 feet. Great reactions by Zahn. You got to anticipate a ball in the dirt to take that base.
That's a catcher knowing what's happening to the other catcher, isn't it?
Boy, it sure is. And he could see that ball on its flight was going to be short of the mark, bounced in the dirt, and he took off immediately.
That's a veteran move right there. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Montañez fouls it away. So now a runner in scoring position with 1 down takes away the potential inning-ending double play Forces the outfielders to rotate their arms just in case they need to make a throw. 2 ball, 2 strike count. 4-3 lead for the O's in the bottom of the 8th inning. C.J. Wilson down the line. Cruz, foul territory. Runner will have to stay, and there are 2 down. Montañez retired. Now is Turris. Turris has had an 0 for 3 in the game. Including an unusual strikeout. Unusual, at least, for him to be K'd. With 2 down, the runner will be going on contact, so the Orioles, if Torres can put one in anywhere, should be able to pick up a run here with Zahn out there at second base. And that one to short is going to be knocked down. The runner's got to stay as Zahn comes back. In fact, Juan Samuel almost grabbed him and threw him back to the bag. A fine play by Andrus as that saves a run. And he may have hurt himself.
Yeah, he might have hurt himself because immediately Washington. Watch Zahn coming around third base. This ball looks like it's past the shortstop, and then Andrus stretches and dives, knocks it down. And Zahn, running from second base on contact, takes off thinking he's going to score. And watch at third base. He is given the stop sign right at the end, and he's able to put the brakes on. Well, I tell you what, that's fortunate. You can see he's got all kinds of ankles and knees and everything else putting pressure on. But Andrus saved a run for the time being. Zahn a little bit gimpy.
You saw Juan Samuel back off. He does not want to get called for assisting a runner, which obviously you can't do. So he just held his arms down, and Zahn kind of used him to slow down and get back. So as Turris delivers a base hit, the Orioles now have runners on at first and third with 2 down. And still a chance to get a run in here, but
Ron Washington now, after he found out about his shortstop that he was okay, I think he's coming out to talk to Paul Schreiber about the contact between the runner and the coach at third. Ron Washington, a longtime third base coach for the Oakland Athletics, I think once he saw his player was okay, got back to the dugout and said, wait a minute, you know, that base runner ran into the coach. And the rule is if there is an intentional position by the coach, you can see Samuel just backing out of the way. He points, stay right here at the bag. And Zahn is the one that made the contact. Once he puts the brakes on, kind of braces himself against the third base coach, but he had already broke his momentum, was stopping. And now Washington is checking with Paul Nart, the home plate umpire.
The play may not have been seen by the third base umpire who was watching the ball at short. So the home plate umpire may have had to pick that play up at third. And Washington, that's a legitimate call. And Juan Samuel knew why he was out there talking about it. And that's why I said Juan Samuel backed off here, didn't put his arms up, put him down so he would not be touching the runner and let the Zahn touch him. First and third, 2 away. Brian Roberts. And the pitch taken down low for a ball. A home run, his first of the year in the 5th inning off Padilla. 1 for 4 in the game. Leading the league in batting average with runners in scoring position. Here's a big chance to add to that number and what would be an enormous run if he can get a base hit. Takes it in the air to left center field. Bird will put it away. So the side retired, no runs, 1 hit, a couple are left on base. The 9th inning coming up. George Sherrill looking to get a save. fees, and by Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of the timeout. Relax responsibly. So we go to the 9th inning in a heck of a ball game. The Orioles with a lead. They are 2-1 in one-run ball games. Rangers already 2-3. Lou Montañez will stay in the ball game in left field. And George Sherrill will have a chance at his 4th save. Trying to go 4 for 4. Saltalamacchia, Andrus, and the top of the order, Kinsler, due up in the 9th inning. And one is fouled off. He's had a big ball game, 2 singles and a double and a run scored, 3 for 3 in the game for Saltalamacchia. Rangers getting a run in the 8th, a home run by Blaylock in the 7th, and an RBI single by Kinsler in the 3rd, making it a tight game. The starting pitchers, the pitchers of record on both sides. Koji O'Hara for the Orioles, Vicente Padilla for Texas. Here's the 0-1. There's a changeup breaking ball.
Well, Georgia's got a real good feel for that breaking ball tonight, the same way he got Chris Davis, different velocities, and here he gets the right-hander Saltalamacchia out in front. Of course, he's a switch hitter batting right-handed against George.
Saltalamacchia 1 for 2 off George Sherrill in his career. Got an 0-2 count on him. And chases one upstairs for the strikeout.
After throwing the breaking ball down in the zone, look at the target from the catcher. Give me one upstairs, and sure enough, he got Saltalamacchia to chase with an 0-2 fastball.
1 down in the 9th. Elvis Andrus hitting 9th, the shortstop, 0 for 3. Trying to bunt his way on and will foul it off. Strike 1. Ian Kinsler, leadoff batter, waiting on deck. George Sherrill against this Texas team has picked up a save this year. And in his career, he has worked 16 innings against them. ERA of 3.94 in 21 games. 0-1 count. Fouled away. You can still vote. Updating your voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. O'Hara so far well on top of Robertson up. Text in your vote A, B, or C. 51862. Results coming up on O's Extra on the postgame show. Jim and Rick standing by for that. 2-strike count. Andrus will take it away. And the count will go to 1-2.
Just about every aspect of a game came into play tonight for the Orioles. Great starting pitching from O'Hara. Clutch hitting from the lineup. They took advantage of Padilla, who had shut them down really easily through the first 3 innings. Got to him in the 4th.
Slow chopper. Ty Wigginton on the charge. Gloves it, running throw, and he got him. 2 down.
Now, Ty Wigginton was deep at third base on the run, throws a ball that tails into the base path a bit. Big out.
Now Kinsler at the top of the order. In a 1-run ball game, he may be the leadoff batter, but he has power. He got 5 home runs, 17 RBIs in that leadoff spot, hitting at .373. 1 for 4 in this game. And he takes it outside for a ball. Kinsler with 2 down and nobody on. 2 for 3 lifetime off George Sherrill. Orioles bench hoping to get their 9th W. That is there for a strike.
Here's a situation where Sherrill's going to try to keep the fastball away from Kinsler. Don't give him anything on the inner half that he can pull. He can throw the breaking ball down and in out of the strike zone, but staying away here.
1-1 delivery away. Orioles, if they can get this win, will go up 3-1 on Texas in the series. and improve their mark to 9-8. Sweating it out over there on the bench, the skipper and the pitching coach. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Kinsler trying to tie it up. 2-2. Two count, 2 down, 9th inning. Kinsler fouls it off.
Again, Zahn with the exaggerated high target. Throw it up here. Trying to get Kinsler to chase, and he did. Now you have the option of throwing a breaking ball in dirt, throwing a fastball away. A lot of places to go right here. Wants it upstairs again.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. So at full count, 3-2. Michael Young, the number 2 hitter, hoping for a chance. Sherrill wants to end it right here against Kinsler. Kinsler fights it off again. O'Hara waiting to see if he's going to get his 3rd win against the loss. Padilla could take the loss and be 1-2. But boy, it is a battle down to the final out in this one. 3-2. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. 3-2 delivery, and that is a base hit just out of the reach of his Turris. And Kinsler is on with his 2nd hit of the ball game, keeping the hopes for Texas alive.
And a double-edged sword now for George Sherrill to deal with after Kinsler gets the base hit on the 3-2 pitch. He represents the tying run, but he's also a threat to steal. He is 7 for 8 in steals this year.
2 down, 9th inning. Orioles up by 1. Michael Young, he has singled and scored a run in the ball game. 1 for 5. Lifetime off Sherrill. Kinsler, pretty good lead. Even if he's not going to run, he wants to draw the attention of George Sherrill and maybe give Young a better pitch to hit. Young at 297 on the year. And again, Sherrill makes the throw over. Bobby Abreu leading the league in stolen bases, starting the day with 8, and Kinsler. Sean Figgins tied for 2nd with 7. Swung and a miss by Young. Maybe foul tipped, and a 1-strike count. Been just a heck of a ball game all the way around.
Well, Michael Young had a walk-off game-winning home run on the 19th of April off Kansas City's Kyle Farnsworth. This, of course, wouldn't be a walk-off home run, but he's always a threat, just like Kinsler. Wow.
Close.
Very good move there.
You cannot get picked off in this situation. No matter who you are.
Quick tag by Aubrey Huff. Joe West, you could see the umpire at first, position directly behind the bag. Get a good look at Sherrill and a possible tag.
0-1 delivery on the way. Misses outside. One of the Orioles' 2 one-run wins this season came against Texas in the series there. A 10-9 victory in Game 1. Orioles then won the second one 7-5 in extra innings and lost the 3rd game 19-6. 1 ball, 1-strike count. Young, right field, going back. Markakis, that is deep, and goodbye home run. A 2-out, 2 RBI homer for Michael Young off Sherrill, and the Rangers have a 5-4 lead. Blown save on the season, number 1 for Sherrill.
Michael Young gets that pitch out over the plate, and it's up. They were trying to go down. He's a great high fastball hitter, and he takes it the other way for the opposite field home run. 5th home run of the season, a heartbreaker against George Sherrill. 2-run shot gives the Rangers the lead here in the top of the 9th.
A team that lives by the home run. Using it again in this game. Blaylock with 1, and now Young with a shot here with 2 down in the 9th. The inning kept alive by the 8th pitch at bat of Ian Kinsler, who delivered a single on that 8th pitch and scores ahead of the homer. And now Josh Hamilton, who is 0 for 4 in the ballgame. That is the 12th hit for the Rangers in the game. And they now lead it by 1. And that will be fouled away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Always true with this Texas ball club. You just can't get enough runs. The power bats there are so many of them in this lineup. Generally, you figure if you got the top of the order up, and Elber's warming up, that you're probably going to be all right. You may get some base hits or whatever, but you got Kinsler and Young in the 1 and 2 spots, and they're genuine home run hitters when the need be. 1-2 delivery by Sherrill. Breaking ball to second base off the end of the bat. Brian Roberts up. Makes the play, but we're going to have to go to the bottom of the 9th. A 2 RBI homer by Michael Young in the top of the 9th, and Texas is up by 1.
At least get this game tied, maybe get 2 of their own.
Well, the O's played a good game for most of the game right there. They get to the 9th inning, turn it over to George Sherrill. It'll be his first blown save of the season.
George Sherrill got that big out to end the 8th, but then a 2-out home run has given Texas the lead. O's getting set to bat in the bottom of the 9th. Back to the booth we go, Gary and Buck.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. And a stunning development in the top of the 9th inning on the home run. And now Frank Francisco will come on. C.J. Wilson, who worked the 8th, is the pitcher of record, and now Francisco coming on for a save.
Francisco worked an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief, earned his 2nd save on Tuesday. That was the longest outing since last July for the big right-hander. And Francisco on, trying to protect this 1-run lead, will have 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Jones, Markakis, and Aubrey Huff to deal with here as the Orioles try to tie it up at least here in the bottom of the 9th.
Jones in the game has a couple of hits, 2 singles. He is 2 for 4. Francisco not expecting a few minutes ago to be in this situation, but on the long ball by Michael Young, opportunity to pick up a save. So a tough break for Koji Uehara, gave up just a couple of runs and 4 hits over 6 2/3. He and Padilla, the 2 starters, non-decisioned in the ballgame. Adam Jones stands in, bottom of the 9th inning. 24,319 the crowd here tonight at Camden Yards. Kinsler perfectly positioned, and 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. So that took one pitch. That'll bring up Nick Markakis. 1 for 3 off Francisco. Comeback wins beyond the 7th inning are rare in the course of a major league season. Comeback wins in the 9th season are extremely rare. 1 down. Markakis down the left field side towards the seats, and a foul ball, and he caught it. Oh, what a catch! Marlon Byrd disappeared from our sight over there against the stands, makes a tremendous catch to retire Markakis.
This ball looked like it was going to slice out of play. It's down the left field line and slicing toward the seats, but Marlon Byrd hangs in there and makes an outstanding catch. There's a fan on the field. Look at the guy in front of Marlon Byrd who jumped over the fence. I don't know what he was thinking about, but give Byrd an awful lot of credit for concentration to pick up the second out of the inning.
Boy, what a play that is. Now there are 2 down, and Aubrey Huff fouls it straight back. So the Orioles now with just 1 out to work with. Aubrey 0 for 4 off Francisco as he tries to get it done in a hurry here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball misses, and it is 1-1. Francisco with a couple of saves in the game. Talking about how tough it is to win a game late. Orioles have a 7-0 mark when they've led after 7. That one fouled back into the screen. In 9th inning dramatics, fans love it. They get all the highlights, but there aren't many of them. Michael Young has provided that in this game with a 2 RBI homer to give Texas the lead. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Huff. Aubrey rips it to first, played by Davis, and this one is in the books. In a dramatic 9th inning win by Texas in the first of 4, having trailed the entire ball game. They didn't get it tied or